Alright, everybody. Welcome to the tea party of episode 4. Now, I've been made aware that this tea party is really long. 2 hours long, in fact. So, thanks to that, we'll be splitting this up in two. We're gonna do it like how we did it in episode 1, where we split it up in 2 videos. So, it's going to be the first part of the tea party. And then the second part of the tea party will come out next time. Alright, just gotta find a good stopping point, I guess. Maybe halfway through, like an hour through the tea party we'll stop and then we'll come back and read some other time. So yeah, I've done my homework, you know, if that makes sense. I've written down the red truths from last time. It was mostly just Angie using the red truth so that Battler could believe in her. What a moment that was. So, yeah, now we're ready for the tea party. Alright, I don't think I have much more to say, to be honest. No, I really don't. So let's get right into it. Why are we wasting time? I do a lot of wasting time, but there's no need for it this time. So tea party, please pull up a seat and wind down. Or is a sojourn on Rokkenjima Pleasant One? The Golden Witch has gifted you with an invitation to her tea party. I hope you guys can see this message, by the way. You probably can't, but I'm gonna read it out loud if you can't. I hope that you will participate, is what it says here in the bottom left. Alright, episode 4. Let's go. Second day, October 15th. Okay! Now we're finally getting to the second day. Okay, this is interesting. So, I mentioned this. I'll talk in a second. It's midnight. No, it's 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m. It's gonna be noon. It's gonna stop at noon, right? No, it's okay. It's still going. 6 going. Okay, it's going. Oh, 9 p.m. It's gonna be like 11:59. Yeah, 11:50 p.m. on the 5th day. So we've just jumped like 24 hours basically, almost more like 23 hours or something like that. Kind of wild. So 23-hour jump. Everyone is already dead, by the way. Battler is dead. I mean, wait. Is Battler dead? Wait. Kinzo died. Maria was there at the end. We never actually saw. I was gonna say everyone died. No, everyone except for Battler. Everyone except for Battler and Maria died, right? Because Battler started his test against Beato. How am I forgetting this? Battler did his test against Beato. Right, it was cut off because she was disappointing in him. She was disappointed in him. But I don't remember her killing him. She was disappointed that she just left him. We don't know what happened after she was disappointed. She just left him and went back to the study. And Kins was like, did Battler succeed his test? But we don't know whether she killed him or not. I mean, she's supposed to kill him before the end of the second day, or you know what I mean? She's supposed to kill him at some point. Everyone is supposed to die, even Maria is. Kins was like, Maria did her test beautifully, but we never actually saw either Maria or Battler die. But Kinzo, he got burnt up real good, so... Only 2 remain. Battler and Maria remain. And Beato froze up Gap, if I remember correctly. Everyone else left. Ronovan and Virgilia left. So... we just have Battler and Maria and Beato left in the island, right? And I mean, Ronovan and Virgil can show up again if they wanted to, realistically. And so can the 7 stakes, I guess, but... Huh. So we do a 23-hour jump. Is Battler still alive 23 hours later? That's crazy if he is. But Battler's gotta remember that to win against Beato, which I hope he does, he has to pull off blue truths that will counter all of her red truths, and that's the way he wins the game board against Beato. So, okay, I'm talking for so long here, and this is the first line of the frigging tea party, and we know it's going to be a long tea party, so I don't know why I'm wasting time talking here, but, alright, just need to get the mood straight. Here we go. Alright, I don't have a clue what to make of all this. Please, someone explain what happened yesterday in a way that I can understand. Wow, he's still alive in the kitchen. Battler! I continue helping myself to the food in the mansion's kitchen. That's crazy. He's been alive for 23 hours in the kitchen of the mansion. That's actually wild. But wait, weren't the doors locked? Yeah, I remember him saying that the doors and windows were locked. How did you get inside? Did Beto just... Beto, after she was disappointed him, was like, you get a free pass inside, I'll let you in, whatever. Here's the key to get in or whatever, I don't know. I'll unlock it for... Or not, even better, I'll unlock it for using magic. Whatever, bro, get in. Get some food. That massive commercial refrigerator had everything. I could eat and drink as much as I liked. I mean, everyone else is dead, so might as well. You know, you're in the middle of a typhoon. Just eat. It's like Battler. It's like at the end of episode 2, if I remember correctly. At the end of episode 2, was it episode 3? Wait, was it episode 2 or 3 when Genji? No, wait, Genji died right away in episode 3, so it was episode 2. Episode 2, close to the end, when Battler basically gave up and was like, "Yo, Genji, what's up?" Then Genji entered the room, and Battler was just there drinking alcohol, and Genji was like, "You know, you're too young for that," or something. And Battler was like, "Bro." Bro, my entire family is dying, bro. Like, my entire family is dying. I can help myself to a little sip. Come on, man. I know I'm technically, but isn't that Battler's 18, so he should be barely of legal age to drink that, to drink alcohol. But still, Genji's like advising him against it. You know, you're really like Kinzo, huh? You're gonna turn into an alcoholic yourself or something. So Battler was just chilling there, just all depressed over finding out that he and Genji were like the only ones remaining at the time. They were one of the few remaining at the time, because George and the others were gone. It was episode 2 ending was wild, and yeah. So Battler's doing a similar thing here, where he's the only one alive and he's depressed, just eating food from the refrigerator. Just I'd have more than enough to eat, even if the typhoon didn't clear up for a week. Yeah, that's wild. And again, I'm not gonna forget the fact that Battler has managed to survive all the episodes, even episode 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we know we did the math check on that, right? And we found out, or at least I found out, there was a 0.6% chance of that happening, of Battler being able to survive all 4, assuming a few different things, like it's just as likely for every person to die, and you know, Battler is not this special person that gets, you know, free pass, which obviously leads you to believe that Battler is a special person that gets a free pass to survive till the very end, because 0.6% chance that he survives all four episodes to the end. That's kind of wild, and that's not even like to be a top 3 or top 2 survivor, because right now he's a top 2 survivor. Only him and Maria left. That's assuming he's a top 5 survivor. So he's only 5 out of 18 survive, and Battler's included in all 4 episodes. That's a 0.6% chance. So imagine Battler now. The chances are even lower. For Battler to survive, I'm just saying there's a very low chance. Assuming the witch targets everyone equally. And that there is some Demon's Roulette going on, like she said there is. But I don't believe in that Demon's Roulette anymore. Not after Battler's insane luck out here. You know, if you do the statistics, that's just how it goes. With a bottle in one hand. Oh my god! I was just talking about this. Half of which I'm already drunk. I helped myself to some sliced ham. Dude, I was just talking about how Battler was so depressed in episode 2, drinking a bottle and everything. He's doing it again. It's the exact same. It's a parallel scene, yo. I wonder just how expensive this stuff is. Man. Your ingredients are out of luck. If only you'd had Gora-san cook you, you could have been reborn as much more incredible food. Yeah, but Gora is hanging. I looked at the clock. Very soon it will be midnight. October 5th, the second day, would end. The insanity of yesterday's October 4th didn't seem real. That was how little had happened after my so-called test. That's what I mean, it's like your test happened yesterday at midnight, then 23 hours pass, and you're just chilling and nothing's happened since then. It's been uneventful. Whoever murdered all other people... Well, Maria should still be alive in the island somewhere. Where's Maria at? Maria hasn't tried to contact Battler at all. Is Battler not aware of that? Because Battler hasn't searched out for any of the bodies, has he? Has he just been chilling in the kitchen all along? He found Gora and Kumasawa's dead bodies. He did his test. He didn't go out during the last. I mean, I guess that makes sense. But he didn't go out during any of these 23 hours to go, hey, you know what? Let me go find some other bodies. But at the same time, that would be a traumatizing experience. I mean, imagine going around. I mean, he kind of could have gone to the mansion and found out where Kirie was at when she called him. As she was dying, he could have gone around and found out where Cross was at, where Shannon and Canon died in the. Well, I mean, maybe he'd have to find the underground passage to find out where Canon and Shannon died. He'd have to find like the underground well thingy that sends you to Kuodori and the hidden mansion. So, but still, he hasn't done any of that, which also means that he hasn't even attempted to find Maria if she is still alive somewhere. Which leads you to think, what is Maria doing? I mean, surely she must be eating food. Is she eating the food from the guest house? Right? Where's Maria at? Because then she'd be coming here to the kitchen too, which means that she would have interacted with Battler at some point. Nothing was happening. No phone calls, no letters. No one coming to see me, no one coming to attack me. That's what I mean. The culprit killed 16 people and just didn't bother with Battler's just... Battler must be so confused right now. So a killer kills 16 people in a single day. Like, 23 hours pass, and he's in the kitchen like, what? Whoever killed these other people, why didn't they kill me? Why is Beato not killing me as well? Because I did a sin and she's disappointed and now she just doesn't want to kill me. What? Does she just want me to live with the tragedy of having my entire family die? What's up? Not a goddamn thing. Give me back all the time and energy I wasted being on edge. An entire day, a full 24 hours. And absolutely nothing happened. And nothing happened somewhere else too, if you know what I mean. And I'm sure that nothing will continue to happen as well. A full 24 hours ago, I was called to the front of the mansion by Beato Ricci. There, I was given some kind of weird test to do with determining the successor to the head or something. I gave a serious answer in my own way, but unfortunately, we just didn't seem to be getting each other. Beatrice got bent out of shape for no reason and stopped talking to me. I don't think it was for no reason, Battler. I don't think so. I yelled at her to say something, but she wouldn't say a word. Then I asked where Maria was, and she just told me to go to the chapel and went away. So did you go to the chapel? Did you find Maria's body there or something? What an astounding anticlimax. Stupid as it was, it kind of feels like it was an anticlimax, doesn't it? Like, we were already Battler's test after what George and Jessica had just been through. Battler's test, let's go, Battler fights Beato. Nah, she just left. She just went, go to the chapel, bye. It was still a test, so at least tell me whether I passed or failed, for hell's sake. I don't think you passed, mate. Or else you would have been like Eva Teacher right now. Woo, crowned as the new witch or whatever. Crap, I don't know. What? You should have to say, good work, your results will be mailed to you later or something? Annoying prick. In any case, I then headed to the chapel. Alright, so what did you find at the chapel? Both George, Annika, and Jessica had been killed after failing their tests. I couldn't let Maria be killed too. Besides, I thought this could be a chance to catch whoever it was while they were in the process of trying to kill Maria. When I was young, Jessica often told me that I'd get in trouble if I went near the chapel. So I'd never been there, but I at least knew where it was. I couldn't sense anyone there, but there was a bundle of keys lying in front of the door. I thought this might be a message to open the door to the chapel, but after trying all of the keys, I found that none of them fit. Well then what's the point, culprit? You leave the keys out here to get me into the chapel, but I can't get in. I also called Maria's name, but there was no answer whatsoever. Question! Can the master keys... I should check out the Red Truth Service 2. Can the master keys from the servant keys, can they open up the door to the chapel, or does the chapel have a specific chapel door? I forgot the details of episode 2. I believe it was said in episode 2 though, so I'm sure if I go back to the Red Truth in episode 2, it would let me know, but if not, I can just check out my notes. I'm sure I've written down the Red Truths of the master keys and the chapel door. So, I also called Maria's name, but there was no answer whatsoever. I searched around the chapel, but there was a limit to what I could do in the pitch black with just a flashlight. I realized that this key bundle might be a set of master keys, which could possibly open the door to the mansion. Right! So the master keys clearly cannot open the door to the chapel, if that is a master key. But I mean, it did open to the door to the mansion and got him to the kitchen and everything. So I mean, it wouldn't be a bad guess to assume it's a master key that the culprit left there because, or Beato or something left there because they wanted Beato to get back to the mansion. Uh, and that's why she told him to go to the chapel because that's where he would find the keys to get to the mansion and eat food and stuff. Or else he'd be out in the rain all for a whole 23 hours. Kind of boring. Almost 24 hours. Finding no sign of Maria, I returned to the mansion. The mansion was wrapped in silence and in a horrible stench. Still, it's pretty amazing how good humans are at adapting. Technically, that smell was still pervading the entire mansion. But I'd grown completely used to it and stopped minding it by this point. It didn't feel like anything more than any old house where someone had burned some meat. Yikes. The stench knocked me back on first entering, but I ignored it and decided to head to the dining hall. Where I found— oh! Okay, so we got some new character files to check out. Where I found all those corpses that were in such a sorry state that Goro-san and Kumasawa-san had hesitated to speak of them in detail. Right, I'll check the character file after this because Battler might go around and find some more bodies. So we'll wait on checking the character file just yet. But he found the first Twilight's body. So he's found Rosa, Eva, Hideyoshi, Rudolph, Genji, and Natsui. There you go. See that? I remember. So he's found their bodies. So I'm sure there's a lot of character files to be reading there regarding their deaths. We'll do it in a little bit later here. There were the remains of the very first victims, Aunt Nazi and the rest. Each of them had half of their head dramatically splattered out, and it was such a gruesome sight that even without knowing a thing about examining corpses, I could pronounce them 100% dead. I mean, it was pronounced in red as well. Didn't Beato pronounce it in red, so they're dead guaranteed. And on top of that, the remaining half of their faces were left like normal, so it was even easy to identify them. Also something that Beato did on purpose. I remember her saying this, that she did this on purpose to stop me from theorizing like I did in episode 1. Because in episode 1 she smashed their faces so completely to the point where you couldn't identify them any longer. So I could pull up the theory that Rudolph didn't actually die and he disguised himself. Well, he set up a dead body there and disguised himself, because he's the culprit all along. But now that she purposely only smashed half of their faces, and we can see their other half, we can identify them and say for sure, okay, they're the ones that die. However, if you have a good enough, you cannot disprove that the bodies are dolls still. Battler's not a doctor after all, and at that he went and really closely examined the corpses. So if someone somehow made such a good looking version of themselves as a doll to disguise themselves as the culprit, it's still technically possible. So I'm not gonna let go of that possibility that someone is disguising themselves as the culprit. They really pulled out all the stops for these corpses. And finally, the bodies here weren't just the 6 of the first Twilight. They had grown in number and now included one more. Ooh, one more. Who? The 7th corpse. Oh, was Maria. Oh, so you really are the only one left, huh? Oh no! When was Maria killed? I thought she was a great. According to Kinzo, she was a great candidate for the next successor. She succeeded in flying colors in her test. That's what Kinzo said. But I guess Beato, after killing Kinzo, didn't have any of it. Went and killed Maria, or maybe Kinzo himself killed Maria before. I don't know. I don't know how she died, but she's dead now. Yeah, Battler's literally the only one remaining. So again, not including the fact that the chance of Battler surviving, assuming that the chances of everyone dying is equal, statistically, is 1 out of 18, which is the same thing as about, what, 6%? 6%, I think, something like that. 1 out of 18. That's about 6%, by the way. So, like, That's a low chance to begin with. If you ignore that and just go, what are the chances of Battler being one of the 5 survivors every single episode from episode 1 to 4? The chances are 0.6%. Battler's the only one remaining right now, y'all. He's the only one remaining. In episode 2, he was 1 out of 4 remaining. If I don't exactly, I'm not gonna spend the time trying to recall who died and whatnot at the very end of episode 2. In episode 3, let's see. In episode 3 had that weird Nandro thing, but it was only Battler and Eva at the very end. Well, we don't know where Jessica was after that, but I mean, it was just Battler and Eva, because George had died by that point. It was just Eva killed Battler. Supposedly Battler was the last to die, so he was like top 3 remaining. Because Jessica and Nandra died, or at the very least Nandra died, so he was at least top 3 remaining, right? I don't know the chronological order of whether Jessica died first or Battler died first, but I'm gonna go with Jessica died first. That makes Battler top 2 in episode 3, and then Eva killed Battler, so Eva became top 1. Battler top 1 in episode 4 now, top 2 in episode 3, or at least top 3. In episode 2 is top 5 at least, because Muddy and Rosa died there at the same time. There was a Battler in Genji and Kenzo at the very end. Where Battler in episode 2 was then invited to the Golden Land with so assuming that Rosa and Maria died before Battler was invited to the Golden Land and by Genji and Kenzo, where he then found Beato in the study. That was the end of episode 2. Assuming Maria and Rosa died first in that episode, Battler was top 3 in episode 2. And in episode 1, he was top 4. Because it was just the cousins remaining at that point. When Beato resurrected herself and then killed the rest of them. So he was top 4. He's been consistently at least top 4 every episode, I'd say. Episode 2 is the only questionable one where you could argue, okay, top 5. Episode 1, top 4. Episode 3, at least top 3. And now episode 4, top 1. The chances of just being top 5 to survive every episode, which means you get to go to the Golden Land entrance or whatever, is already 0.6%. Added to the fact that I've just said all these other possibilities, the chances are even lower, man. The chances are even lower. I mean, it's crazy. But you cannot tell me. I mean, I can do the math right now. So okay. I'm gonna do the math right now. So in the first Twilight, he was a top 4 to survive. So 4 out of 18, multiplied by times. What? Let's say he was. I'm gonna be generous. I'm gonna go for the most. I'm gonna go for top 5 in episode 2. I'm gonna be generous. I could say top 3, but I go top 5. So times 5 out of 18 times the chances of him surviving episode 3, which I'll be generous again and say, okay, Jessica might have survived even after Battle was killed, and say top 3. So 3 out of 18. But we know George had died by that point, and he was the 5th, Nanjo. And we know Nanjo and George had died before Battler, so 3 out of 18. And now he's definitely top 1, because Mario was just found dead. So the chances are, let me multiply by 100. Bro, 0.06%, 0.057%. 0.06%. Guys, when it was 5 out of 18, it just 5 out of 18 to the power of 4, you get times 100 to make it the percent. We get 0.6%. 0.6% if it's just top 5. If it's the other possibilities that I just did with top 4, top 3, top 1 now, the chances go down to 0.06%. Battler surviving all 4 episodes like this, the chances are so low. There's no way a roulette was behind this. Battler was purposely left alive, and I'm convinced. The culprit has a reason for keeping Battler alive. Which leads me to believe that whatever sin Battler committed, whatever it is with Battler, he has some deep connection with Beato for some reason. even though Beato said she didn't know him 6 years ago, and Beato's leaving him purposely alive. Whatever, I don't care what the Demon's Roulette thing says. There's no way Beato can survive this much statistically. All right, I'm a maths person, so this to me doesn't make sense. Anyway, let's keep reading, and maybe we'll find out eventually. But for right now, I find it sus. If the culprit is Beato, truly is, there's a reason why she's keeping him alive. The seventh was for Maria. She was lying next to Aunt Rosa and still sleeping alongside her. Well, I mean, that makes sense. Again, if the culprit is Beato, considering her connection with Maria, she'd want to have Maria be, her place of death to be, close to her mother, who she loves and stuff like that. Even though we know of all the crazy things Rosa did to Maria, the biggest one of all, the fact that Sakutara wasn't handmade by her and was just a lion stuffed toy that you can find anywhere, even in the Kuwabata sleep shop. That was like the biggest. I mean, that was a big one. That was a big one to find out. But despite all that, Maria still loves her mother, so yeah. So Beato gave her a good rest at least. I cried at the death of an innocent young girl, and at the cruel way my dad and the others had died. I ran about the mansion swinging my hat-stand spear, yelling, "Come out here, you bastard!" He still has that? He's still holding that hat-stand spear? He's not giving that up? Surely he could have found a better weapon by now. I mean, can you not find the guns that Rosa and Natsu were finding in episode 1 and 2 and episode 3? The ones that Cross and Eva and Rudolph were holding in episode 3 as well? I mean, where did they find those guns? There was someone in the mansion, but I guess Batra doesn't know the location, because Batra doesn't know the mansion as well as everyone else does, as the other members of the family. Especially Cross. Cross would know what these guns are, so... And Natsu, so... and Rosa too, but Batra hasn't come here in 6 years. How would he know the location of guns? And he's also, young, so why would he know the location of guns? Why would you give that information to a battler? So... But there was no sign of anyone else. Absolutely no sign of anyone else. Thinking that they might be hiding somewhere and scheming to attack me from behind, I went around searching for possible hiding places. Sometimes being cautious. Sometimes intentionally letting my guard down. Trying all kinds of things, but in the end, not so much as a kitten appeared. Then, morning came. My tension and fatigue, mixed together with my drowsiness, made for the worst kind of dawn. Yeah, I hope you got some sleep, bro. Humans are pretty incredible. Even though I didn't know where the hell the murderer was hiding, I was prioritizing drowsiness and fatigue over worrying for my life. That is actually kind of crazy. By this time, I was starting to feel pretty ridiculous. I had walked around the mansion for a full 6 hours until dawn broke, yelling at them to show themselves. 6 hours? Damn, bro. I had done a painstaking search, tired myself out, and even let my guard down. Still, no one was coming to attack me. And so at that point, I just said, screw it, do whatever you want. So, I want to read the character files now, because I reckon... Oh, I can check the tips section for this episode. I'm gonna read the character files now because I reckon... wait, why are Gordon Kumasawa not scrapped out? Why are they not seen as dead? Battle found their bodies? Huh, okay, weird. But anyway, that's fine. We'll check the character file now because I doubt Battle's gonna go out at this point and go on to find... Well, he might find Kitty's body, that's right. If he's walking around the mansion, he should find Kitty's body eventually. But he's not gonna find Kanon and Shannon and Krause's body anytime soon. And he's not gonna find Kinzo's body unless he goes to the study. And he's just gonna find a burned corpse. He's not going to find... He could find Jessica's body if he goes to Jessica's room. If Battler so desires. I mean, he's walking around the mansion for 6 hours. And he never bothered to check Jessica's room. Maybe he's doing it out of respect. He walked out of the mansion but didn't go to anyone's personal rooms. Out of respect or maybe something like that. Nanjo's killed on the road over to... in the forest on the road over. So only Kiria made it over to the actual mansion, right? But yeah, okay. Let's read the character files. So we got Genji. We already read Genji's corpse. No, we haven't. Corpse discovered in the dining hall. His head was half destroyed. It seems reasonable to think that he was murdered with something like a powerful gun. However, the witnesses don't believe that he was killed with a gun. Okay. Maria. This is an interesting one because it's a corpse that Backer found. Corpse discovered in the dining hall. Unable to locate any notable external wounds, Battler speculated that it may have been some type of poisoning. Ooh! No external wounds, so I guess Beato gave her a peaceful death. A quick just boop, boop death. The most peaceful method of inviting a person to the Golden Land. Yeah, yeah. So I didn't even read that last sentence and I noticed, okay, so Beto must have given her a peaceful death. Alongside closer mother. Makes sense. Inviting a person to the Golden Land, quote unquote. Rosa, her mother. Corpse discovered in the dining hall, her head was half destroyed. It seems reasonable to think that she was murdered with something like a rifle gun. Okay, the same thing is written here. Same thing for Rudolph, it seems like. Okay. George is gonna be different, but we already read this. He was branded humility remarking he's lost the gap because he was shot with a gun or something. Right. Right. He's lost the gap, but still bullcrap. I don't care. Alright. Let's see. You got Hideyoshi. Corpse declared in the dining hall. Head was destroyed. Blah 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 blah. We've read this. Okay. Eva. Similar thing. Okay. Nazi. Same thing. Same thing for everybody, really. Okay. Nothing new. Cross still doesn't have any new. Cross doesn't have any new things. Angie doesn't have any new things. Let's check. Not Angie. Kiria. I want to check out Angie. I did want to check out Angie because now Angie's just died in front of Battler. So let's see if she has any death thing on the witch side of things, right? Or Gretel, should I say? So because we don't have any new info here. So let's check out Gretel. Is she red? Is she dead? Nope, she's still alive. The unleashed witch will live on for the next 1,000 years. The witch hunted to slay all witches. So she understands witches and denies them. Right, now understand the meaning of these words. This contradictory power alone gives her the ability to slay witches. Although she's dead now, so she's relying on Battler now to win against Beato and get the family back. So yeah, nothing new here. We've read about all these character files, so we're good there. Angie's side. Now, Eva's dead. We already read the Eva story though, so. And let's see. I have a theory that Amakusa's dead here. That Angie killed Amakusa, and we know Kasumi's dead. So that's actually interesting. That Kasumi is not scribbled in red here, because we know she died. She was killed by, well, Mammon, quote unquote. But I think it was Amakusa that shot Kasumi, and then Angie killed Amakusa afterwards. If you're thinking about it in the human ways, and not that Angie used magic. So, because Kasumi doesn't have anything new here. Yeah, even though she's dead. And Amakusa, even though he's dead, doesn't have anything here either. So, yeah, nothing new in the character files, really. I don't feel like I got a lot of information out of the dead bodies that just died here, other than Maria's, I guess, which was given a peaceful death to go to the Golden Land next to her mother. That is the most notable body I found. The other bodies are just like, they died, heads were smashed in. The witnesses don't think that they were killed by God. They think they were killed by magic of some sort. So nothing really interesting to find with the character deaths. But hey, we read them to read them anyway. So at that point, I just said, screw it, do whatever you want. Okay. The boat wouldn't come until the typhoon passed. They were saying on TV that it wouldn't pass until tomorrow, so I had a whole day to waste. Imagine watching TV while your entire family's dead. Oh, my family's dead. There's my dad dead. There's all my cousins, my uncles and aunts. Cool. I'm gonna watch some TV. Okay, the typhoon won't pass until tomorrow, so I have a whole day to waste. Woo! If the murderer wants to kill me, I'm here. By the way, the idea of just lazing about didn't seem very appealing. So even though I knew it would probably make the police mad, I decided to play detective a bit. Okay, but that's fun for me, because you're gonna die anyway soon, so. Alright, play detective. At death's door. First, the dining hall, where the very first murders occurred. The 6 who were killed in the beginning really were pitiful to look at. The weapon was probably a gun. Maybe their heads were split by something powerful, like a magnum bullet or a shotgun. That seemed like valid reasoning. Although to split the heads so nicely in half using a shotgun seems kind of ridiculous, don't you think? I feel like if you're using a shotgun, if you want to split someone's head in half like that, powerful shotgun, you'd have to aim really close and make sure you're aiming for a single side of the head, right? Because I mean, I'm sure it's not a perfect head split, but still, I'm sure it's still, you know, I feel like if you're shooting a shotgun aiming from not a very close distance, I feel like you get their entire face, not just half of their face. You know what I mean? But so maybe you'd have to go really close and go to only one side of the head to be able to do that, which would mean that the culprits or the victims must have all been extremely vulnerable to let that happen to them, to let the shotgun get so close to their faces. Seemed like valid reasoning. In comparison, Maria, who was the seventh body, had died in a far better and cleaner way. At a glance, there were no external wounds, and it wasn't clear how she had been killed. But there were signs that bubbles had been foaming from her mouth, and it looked like a typical death by poisoning that you might see on a TV drama. Could she have been poisoned? Did Kenzo poison her? Wasn't Maria called out to the chapel and given her test there? That's right, she was. And then you went to the chapel and only found the master keys. And so from the chapel, Maria was then carried back to the dining hall. Okay. Then why is she here in the corpse-filled dining hall, lying next to her mother, dead? Assuming that the cause of death was poison, who gave it to her? Even better, the culprit clearly is connected to the Shurima family, because the fact that she was given a cleaner death, let's say with poison, and made to rest next to her mother, clearly means that the culprit knows of her connection to her mother. So the culprit is someone that has a connection to the family. Well, I mean, a deep connection to the family that knows their relationship dynamics, for the most part, I guess. We kind of knew this already, but I mean, this is, and it might seem obvious to you guys, like, oh, I mean, obviously the culprit is related to the Shurima family, but it is important of a thing for me to mention, because it does narrow things down. It is important. It is important because, you know, that would mean, like, I'm not sure we can, for example, suspect Kurosawa's son, for example, that we met, right? Because Kurosawa's son, would he know of the connection between, would he know of the connection between Maria and Rosa, for example, right? The guy that Angie met, when she was finding the letters of the money. I'm not sure he would have. Maybe he would have known, but at least he seems less suspect now, because the culprit clearly gave respect to Maria and had them rest together. So I don't suspect that guy anymore. For example, or Nanjo's son. Nanjo's son is even better because he didn't seem really related to the Ishiromas at all. So that's even a better example. I don't want to suspect him as much, which is why I'm saying that it is important. Every single detail is important that I say that, okay. So the culprit, seemingly at least, had respected Rosa and Maria's relationship. I guess I say respected. They still killed them both and had Maria and Rosa sleep together, or rest together, I should say. They're not sleeping; they're dead. But you get the point. Her clothes aren't disturbed at all. It's hard to imagine that she was forcibly pushed down and given an injection of poison. It's probably better to assume that she was given a poison capsule or something and made to swallow it. Maybe that was her test. If you can swallow this. Poison. If you can eat this poison, yeah, guys. If you can eat the poison, then you succeed the test and you become the next head. And she, without hesitation, did it, because I guess Maria's too young to love someone like Battler or George and Jessica. So Kinzo went with that test and was like, man, if she's that, or maybe even better, Kinzo was like, this is my theory for what happened in the test. Kenzo had a poison capsule. I was like, "Ayo, Maria, this is a poison capsule. I'm telling you right now, this is a poison capsule. And if you swallow this, you will die. So, yes, but if you want to become the head of the Shurima family and go to the Golden Land, you gotta do it." And Maria, without hesitation, did it. and just swallowed it and then died right then and there. Which is why Kinzo was like, Maria passed the test flying colors. She did amazing. She didn't hesitate at all to die. So maybe that's what happened. I think that's a good enough theory for now for what really happened there. Which would explain why Maria doesn't have any resisting marks on her anyway, right? Like Kinzo didn't force it down on her, and she did it deliberately, willingly, just went, okay, I'll do it. That said, compared to the violently mutilated corpses scattered about this room, Maria's corpse was far too clean. With a gun, all you need to do is pull the trigger. But poison, whether injected or made to be swallowed, would take a lot more effort. Bearing in mind the culprit's brutal nature, too, I felt that Maria's death alone had clearly been given special treatment. Why was Maria alone given a sleep-like death? She was killed, so in that sense, I still felt very sorry for her. There can be no doubt about that. But for some reason, the manner of Maria's murder in particular seemed very courteous to me. Maria had her hands joined on her chest in the way that the dead often do. Had her hands joined on her chest. Okay. Did Maria do that herself before dying? Oh, yeah, makes sense. Again, if my theory that I just said a second ago is correct, this will make a lot of sense. She swallowed the poison pill, held her hands close to her chest, was like, alright, time to go to the Golden Land, and died. Isn't this usually something done by someone else after the person dies? Oh, or maybe not. Maybe Mari didn't do that. Maybe Mari just swallowed the pill, died, and then Beato or Kinzo, whatever, probably Beato, Kinzo wouldn't do this, out of respect for Maria, just had her hands joined together and you know, set her over here. Maria was resting in peace, as though sleeping together with her mother, whose head was half crushed. Well, they clearly did not give Rosa peaceful death, but of course we know that Beato doesn't really respect Rosa, right? Because of the way she treats Maria, obviously. For some reason, the contrast really bugged me. There are probably a lot of mysteries surrounding Maria's death, starting with the cause. And more than anything else, the biggest mystery of this dining hall was the pitfalls, quote unquote. The pitfalls that both Uncle Cross's group and Gora-san's had mentioned. After the 6 had been killed, 5 more had fallen through quote unquote pitfalls and been captured. What are pitfalls? Those things that suddenly open and you fall through them, right? The floor was firmly laid with a majestic, if a bit worn out, carpet. Test the floor batter. Do you see any holes below? Do you see any holes below that have any tubes that send someone directly to a pit, to a dungeon? Or is Kirya's theory correct about them? Nah, but even then, would you have time to give them sleeping pills or whatever, send them over, and then them waking up in the dungeon to carry their bodies over? That's kind of wild. And the dungeon is quite a ways away from here, so it was clearly a single piece. If pitfalls are meant to open up in it, there would have to be a seam in that one place. And anyway, if there was some trick like a pitfall, wouldn't it creak when you walked on it? Maybe the engineering was genius. But good point. Maybe the engineering was big-brained. But at the same time, how long have Cross's family dined here? Cross, Natsu, and Jessica, they've dined here for how many years? 20, 30 years? I guess Jessica's been alive for 18 years, but Cross and Natsu surely dined here for years longer, because we know Natsu had struggled to give birth to someone, right? Cross and Natsu struggling to give birth, which is actually a common problem, by the way. Like, you guys might be like, oh, but that's actually a common problem among parents, is that, well, I say among parents, but among couples, is that they struggle to get pregnant in general. They actually struggle. They keep trying over and over. It doesn't work. It's actually more common than you might think. So Natsu was struggling, but eventually she gave birth to Jessica. So we know for a fact that even for many years that before Jessica was born, Cross and Natsu are still dining here with all the servants and stuff, and possibly even Kinzo as well, obviously, and the family conference, everything. So Rudolph and the others, and Evan and the others would show up and have the dining. And if there are pitfalls there the entire time for 30 years. We know the mansion has existed for 50 years probably or something, right? Since World War II, and that was 50 years ago. In Umineko, not in real life, obviously. The World War II in real life was like 80 years ago, ish. But in Umineko world, that was 50 years ago. So, or more like 40 years ago, actually. More like 40 years ago. 40, 45. So, and we know that the mansion was built right after the war. So it's but the mansion has existed for 40 years, right? Let's say there were pitfalls there. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. I don't know. So Batman makes a good point. No matter how much I walked over or ran my hands over the carpet, I just couldn't imagine that a pitfall was hidden there. Here. Batter, you're laying your fingerprints everywhere, bro. The cops are going to be really mad. Imagine just trying to search for pitfalls. The cops go, well, I guess Batter was the culprit because his fingerprints are everywhere. In the first place, it would be one thing if a single person had fallen, but it was a full 5 people. From what I could piece together from all of their stories, each one of them had fallen from a different location, so at the very least, there had to be 5 separate places concealing pitfalls. Yeah, I'm not sure how much I believe that now, considering everything we know of the dining hall. So what does this mean? Maybe Kira's theory is correct, but it's still unlikely, because it had only been, what, 10-15 minutes between them falling, quote-unquote, to them landing in the mansion, which was far away. To drag bodies that far, what? Did they have an immediate car pickup? Is there a slide that goes? I guess the dining hall is in the first floor, so maybe there's like they opened the window real quick, got on a car for some that was right there, which is still kind of sus, because wouldn't they have noticed that there was a? Wouldn't Kitty and the rest have noticed that there's a car outside the dining hall? Wouldn't there be a sound of a car going? Because you hear a car sound. I'm sure in 1986 you could still hear a car sound. A car in the island. Quickly gave them sleeping pills or whatever, gave them pills that made them unconscious. Put all 5 people in the car, by the way, found a place for all 5 people in the car. Drove all the way over to the hidden mansion, or at least to one of the well or thing or whatever. Go all the way to the dungeon and set them there in a span of 10 minutes or something. It's kind of wild. And then they wake up. It's kind of wild. Was this room actually made with pitfalls across the entire floor? So that with a single button press, you could open up a pitfall in the location of your choice? Some kind of contraption like that? That kind of ridiculous mechanism would be surprising even in a ninja mansion. Even better. Think about it like this too. There's dead bodies everywhere on the floor. Right? There's dead bodies everywhere. There's 6 dead bodies. You got not just Genji, but everyone else standing there. You had Shannon and Kanon standing there too before they fell in their pitfalls. Genji, none of the dead bodies fell in the pitfalls. So if they did have a mechanism like that, you're telling me that the pitfalls just so happened to get the 5 that went to the dungeon perfectly, and none of the dead bodies got tangled up in the pitfalls as well, right? Because obviously, Cross and Kirie and Nanjo would not purposely jump. From what we've seen from them, they didn't purposely jump in the pitfall to go down to the mansion, right? They clearly got trapped there. They went, whoa, oh my god, there's a hole below me. So to be able to perfectly set that up so as to get only these 5 alive people in these pitfalls, but you don't get any of the dead bodies, unluckily. Like, oh no, I had placed a pitfall there, so oh well, too bad. They get a dead body sent with them. Nah, you press the button specifically so that you only get the people that are alive that you want in the pitfall to go to the dungeon. Sus. I don't believe in this pitfall theory anymore. That would be that's wild. That is a crazy contraception. What type of engineering has to go behind doing something like that? And there's no creaking on the floor. There's no way these pitfalls actually exist. That kind of ridiculous mechanism would be surprising even in the ninja mansion. But even so, if Dad and the rest heard about this, maybe they'd say, I won't put it past grandfather. You bet he'd do this, he'd make this. See, I'd agree with you, because that's what Kawabata said as well regarding the... Didn't Kawabata say something along the lines of... yeah, along the lines of, it's Kinzo, I bet he'd do it. right? Because Kinzo, regarding the tunnel that sends you all the way from the hidden mansion to the our mansion, to the main mansion, to make a 1 kilometer long or however long tunnel from the hidden mansion underground all the way over to that. See, that's something I believe in, and we actually saw the tunnel, so that's why I obviously believe in it now that we actually got to see it. That is, if we were to believe what we saw. So I do believe in the tunnel existing, right? I do believe in that. I sure, Kinzo could have done that, but this insane pitfall mechanism, if it's real, you know what? Fair play, Kinzo. That's a crazy engineering mechanism, but I don't believe it. In any event, I didn't learn anything more than that from the dining hall. Do the pitfalls not exist? Or do they exist, but I just can't find them, amateur that I am? I can't say for sure. I can't say for sure either, but I can say for big probability. They claim that the pitfalls were there. I can't ignore the pitfalls even if I can't find them. It's true. Technically, it's a devil's proof. You cannot prove that there aren't pitfalls there. So, well, at least until someone comes over and tears apart the match and actually properly checks if there are pitfalls there. But otherwise, yeah, you can't do that. Not as you are, Battler. The Witch of the Painting. Oh, we haven't heard this soundtrack in a while, you know. The next ones to be killed have been Jessica and Joe Johnny. You found their bodies as well? Man, maybe I really should have waited with checking out the character files. I'd already discovered Joe Johnny when I was called out for my test. Jessica's body is in her room though. He was called out to the arbor in the rose garden and shot in the forehead, probably with a gun. As for Jessica, she was called to her own room on the second floor of the mansion. I found the door to her room locked, but that wasn't a problem at all since I had the master keys. And the inside of the room was horrible. There she is. There's her. And remember, she called you just before she died. Remember, Battler? She called you just before she died. She was like, Battler, I'm about to die. But, succeed. Only you can succeed the test in a similar vein to how she did, paralleling what she did at the end of episode 1, which was kinda nice. But the corpse was nothing I hadn't already familiarized myself with in the dining hall, so I'd built up a bit of an immunity. That's actually kinda wild. The phone receiver was dangling off the hook. Was she killed while on the phone with me? Yep. Well, I mean, she died while on the phone with you, yeah. I don't know about killed, you know what I mean? You can theorize different things here, but okay. Jessica's leaning against the wall right next to it, with half of her head splattered out. Okay, so even she got the half of her head treatment. George did that kick, and then she got revived. Alright. As far as I could tell by looking at the scene, it looked as though she had been killed while on the phone. In that case, had the culprit been there before her eyes? I hadn't gotten that impression from Jessica's voice over the phone. And also, if half her head splattered about, you would have heard. Surely you would have heard a sound. Surely you would have heard the sound of a shotgun bullet going through her head if that was how she was killed, unless the phone hung up first and then the shot went off or something. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Jessica said, "They got me." It's probably best to assume that she had already received a fatal wound at the time of the phone call. That's right, and she also said this. Right, so she already knew how her corpse would look like before she even died. Yes, she definitely said that. From what I could tell by looking at Jessica's corpse, there were no wounds on her other than the damage to her head. And then, she was injured seriously enough that she steeled herself for death and then died halfway through the phone call. I don't know about that one. But it feels like with the way she was talking on the phone, she was out of danger for the time being. You shouldn't be able to have a casual conversation over the phone if the killer is right in front of you. Yeah, especially considering Jessica's personality, right? With someone like Kitty's personality, I'd believe that, right? With Kitty, I'd believe it, or with George, I'd believe it. But Jessica's personality to be able to do that, I don't know. It does make it more sus. So, did the culprit come partway through the phone calling killer? No, that can't be right. Yeah, because she didn't scream or anything. She went like, "Oh no, the culprit's here! I'm about to die! Bye, Battler!" You know, she didn't do anything like that. But again, I'd believe a story similar to that regarding Kitty, because Kitty is more of a calm-mannered woman, so I could believe that. I can believe what happened with Kitty with the way she died. I mean, this episode. After all, this room was locked. Also true, but I mean, come on, Battler. Come on now, you can solve locked rooms by now. The culprit could have killed Jessica, got out the room, locked the room, set the master keys in the chapel. Easy peasy, you found them. Easy peasy. This is ridiculous, man. No. Like, exactly! Like how that counts for anything. That doesn't count for anything. That doesn't matter at this point. Wait, locked room does not, yeah. If the culprit had stolen a master key from one of the victims, the fact that it was locked is meaningless. Yeah, it's a meaningless thing to theorize right now. But there are no external wounds other than her head. In which case, should I assume the fatal wound she was prepared to die from, and the actual wound that destroyed her head were two different events? Both of them made to the same part of the body. But I mean, your head is such a vulnerable place. I feel like if you get such a bad wound from your head that you're about to die, you just die anyway. You won't be able to talk for so long before you die, right? Surely. In other words, Jessica was struck severely to the head and received an incredibly bad wound. Then she called me and either lost consciousness or died while on the phone. But it's still crazy to me. She didn't get a concussion or anything like that while she was first struck on her head and she knew she was gonna die. In her head, she knew she was gonna die. She was still able to talk to you, and then she was struck in the head again to die and have half her head splattered about. I don't get how that would work. And the culprit came and destroyed her head for real or something. I guess that's not a horrible theory. I can go with you on that for now. After being called to this room, Jessica was attacked by the culprit and seriously injured. And the culprit thought they'd killed her and went away for the time being. No, I don't believe that. But then Jessica miraculously started breathing again and called me with a literal dying message. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Considering Jessica's last words, I don't believe that. She knew how her corpse was gonna end up. Right? If she knew how her corpse was gonna end up, I feel like she wouldn't have known. I mean, even if she knew that the corpse was gonna come back to finish her off, how would she have known that the state of her corpse after she died? She wouldn't have known. So I don't think it's a matter of the culprit forgot to kill her. It's more of a maybe, if your theory is right, Battler, maybe she got struck. The culprit's like, alright, I'm off. You get to talk to Battler if you want. I'm gonna come back in a bit to finish you off. And by the way, this is how your corpse is gonna look like before you die. Alright, bye. You know what I mean? But even then, how would Jessica believe those words? Wouldn't she tell Battler, I think my corpse is gonna look like this when I die? No, Jessica's sure of it. My corpse is gonna look like this when you find me. Did she? I don't remember. Did she say probably look like this or something like that? I don't know. She seemed to be confident how her corpse is gonna look like when after she died. So, would she believe in the culprit's words? And if you think about it, Jessica really hated on the culprit. Was like, I'm gonna get vengeance for my family, Nazi and stuff. I'm gonna go get vengeance. And you know, now we saw what happened with her at the end. But I don't know. I don't know. There's a bunch of sus going on here. Then the culprit realized that they had failed in killing her and rushed back to deliver the final blow to Jessica, who had lost consciousness from massive blood loss. There's a lot of reading that I need to do this part. No voice acting. Battler hasn't talked at all. The only voice acting we've heard of is from Jessica's from before she died. That's it. So this tea party has been a lot of reading for me. A lot of reading about. That seems to make sense, more or less. No, it doesn't. Except for how Jessica was able to accurately... Exactly! It doesn't make sense. Because except for how Jessica was able to accurately predict the form of that final blow. How was Jessica able to know how her corpse was gonna look like after she died? How did she know that, I don't know, external wounds would be made to her other side of her head, or maybe to I don't know, her stomach or something? She was gonna be shot in the stomach as well. How did she know that the corpse was gonna specifically do that? It doesn't add up that way. And there was one more thing that bugged me about the phone call from Jessica. Jessica said this.
正真兄さんダメだった
Did she did say that too?
ありゃ作詞だ
Fair point. Fair point. That is a really big. George was in the arbor when Butler found his body. The arbor is pretty ways away from Jessica's room. Jessica's room is the second floor of the mansion, by the way. So the arbor is quite the ways away. You have to go outside, you have to go downstairs, outside, all the way to the flower garden to the arbor to find George's body. Yet Jessica knew accurately, well, accurately enough to know that he died instantly. That he died. So she said it almost as though she had witnessed George Aniki being killed. While you certainly could see the rose garden from the window in Jessica's room, the arbor that George Aniki had been called out to was very far away. You could only just make out the roof. Add on the fact that it was the night of a typhoon, and it's very hard to imagine that she was able to witness everything that had happened by the arbor from this window. And most important of all, Jessica left before George Aniki, so she shouldn't have known that George Aniki's test had taken place by the arbor. Right, that's another thing. If Jessica left before George did, she wouldn't have known that his test is in the arbor. How would she then just go like, oh, if I look out the window here, I'd be able to find George taking his test. Even worse, considering that Jessica was so preoccupied with killing the killer and doing her test, right? Why would she be so preoccupied in trying to find out what George is doing? Even if she did know, it's a lot of sus going on here. How did Jessica know that George Aniki had been killed? Then, in the course of my search of the entire mansion, I found Kitty-san's corpse as well. Okay, so you did find Kitty as well. I should have waited to check the character files until after it was done. After battle was done, because I thought when battle said, "Alright, I grew bored and I was just chilling for the next 33 hours." I assumed that he didn't do this detective search, so that's why I was like, "Alright, we're probably not gonna see any more corpses for the rest of the tea party," but we are. So yeah, once he found everyone else's, once he started doing detective work and found Maria's corpse and stuff, that was when I was like, all right, fine, I'll just check the corpses. No, once he said that he was gonna do detective work, I assumed that okay, he's gonna find Jessica's corpse and Kira's corpse afterwards. So I'll just wait to check the character files until everyone is found. This also means that there's a possibility Battler, after finding Kira's corpse here, could go out and to try and find. I doubt it, but he could go out and try and find Cross and Nanjo's corpse as well, and even who knows, maybe he'll find the well and Shannon's corpse too and everything, and Kanon's corpse over by the well. So I'm gonna wait until we're pretty much not gonna get that most likely, but I mean, I do want to read the character files though. She was in an old guest room tucked away on the first floor. This was where all of us relatives used to stay before the guest house was built. Right. On the first floor, you say. Right, that makes sense. She must be in the first floor, yeah. On the first floor. The situation with Kiri-san was just like Jessica's. She was probably killed during her phone call with me. The receiver was hanging untidily. Untidily. And Kiri-san was collapsed beside it. But the way she had been killed was very different from Jessica. Her head wasn't smashed. Instead, something like a stake with an occult-like design was buried into her forehead. Right, this again. The 7 stakes again, coming back. It was too gruesome for me, so I pulled it out. Ugh. And then blood just started pouring out. Why would you do that? Now, dude, now, the freaking police and stuff, they're gonna have to clean that. Well, I mean, they're already gonna have to clean the blood that's already there anyway. But now there's even more to clean, because blood started gushing out, bro. That blood could leave a permanent mark on that wooden floor. It was only after pulling it that I realized that this might get me into trouble with the police later. Yeah, big time. So even though it was probably a little late now, I laid it by Kiryu-san's side. Its tip was sharp and stained with enough blood that it must have penetrated fully to the brain. I didn't know what kind of metal it was made of, but it was about as heavy as a paperweight. Certainly, if you're stabbed all out with something like this, it might cause a terrible wound. Yeah, but what sort of force would you need to stab someone through the brain with such a small stake? Stake. That's crazy. That is actually kind of crazy. And now that I think about it, um, like I said, Kiryu's death being so calm is more believable to me than Jessica's death. Definitely. So Kiryu dying like this makes more sense to me than Jessica. Jessica's personality doesn't add up with the way she died, necessarily, so something happened there. I probably understood what the stake meant. Yeah, I know this. It's the method of killing from the fourth twilight onwards in the witch's epitaph. That gouge with a stake and kill thing. Probably. Wait, it doesn't specify that you have to gouge with a stake. It just says Nah, it never says gouge with a stake. In the epitaph though. The epitaph only says gouge the head and kill, gouge the chest and kill, gouge the stomach and kill, gouge the knee and kill, and gouge the legs and kill and stuff. It never says gouge with a stake. That's something that you made up, Battler. So, interesting. Interesting that you say this for Kiryu's body, but you didn't say this for George's body, Battler. Why not? Battler was also, George was also gouged in the forehead. No, you didn't find any stake there, sure. But he still had a massive hole in the forehead, so... Why are you saying this for Kitty only, and not for George, even though I know that Kitty is the fourth Twilight. But I don't know how Gatley is so confident about this. I don't remember the epitaph saying anything about killing with a stake. That is kinda sus, that Batter knows this. But, alright, we'll keep reading. But I'm gonna put my sus on that. However, the human skull is very hard. Exactly! How much force would you need to get through? Even with all one's strength, could you really pierce through it this sharply? That's what I mean! That's some insane force you'd need, guys. Think about it. That small stake, you'd need some sort of stake gun shooter or something to make that possible. Because there's no way you just do it with human force as if you. I mean, stabbing a knife is different. A knife is different. You get a big knife, you can do that. But with a small stick like that, I don't know if I can believe that. You gotta have some insane human strength. No. The way I reason it, this stake wasn't the cause of death. It was just used to damage the corpse after death. But even then, even if that is the case, if the corpse, if you find, have you found any other external wounds for one? And another thing is, that stake, to be able to force it through that deep to her brain, even if it's a corpse, it's still gotta be tough. It's still gotta be difficult, right? Did they use a hammer to make it dig in deeper? Like, they're like, alright, now I'm gonna stab her head a little bit, but now I don't have any more strength left to be able to send the stake all the way to the brain, so I'm gonna use this hammer, and like hammering a nail to the wall, they just hammered the stake to her forehead all the way down to her brain. That's the only thing I can think of. She was probably killed by being shot with a gun or something, like Joe Johnny Key. And the stake was stuck into the hole left by the gun. Okay, that is another possibility. But how well inserted was the stake then? Thinking about it that way, everything works out. But was Kiryu-san really killed with a gun? She had said this on the phone call as well. Kiryu-san was under attack even though she was holed up inside a locked room. Again, locked room is ridiculous at this point. We cannot be theorizing locked rooms at this stage. Locked room is irrelevant, yeah, as far as I can tell. And this room was locked. Again, irrelevant, doesn't matter. And she had said something about a golden thread-like thing flying into the keyhole and attacking her. She also told you to believe in magic, or whatever, and just accept what you see, which is kind of bullcrap. Don't believe in magic, battle, because then you lose against Beato. So don't do that. Don't listen to Kirya's. Listen. Typically, I'll be like, yeah, listen to Kirya's advice. His advice is awesome. Flip the chessboard and that. But for once, I don't know about that one. Don't listen to Kirya. Okay. And in fact, there were 4 places around Kirya-san's corpse with holes that could have been caused by some kind of attack. Right, because the golden thread did pierce her multiple times, 4 times before finally getting to her forehead. So, but still, a golden thread attacked her through the keyhole. That's not humanly possible. I looked at the door from Kirya-san's perspective. If it had been one of those old locks like you see in old mystery movies, where you can peek through to the other side, then you could understand that something might potentially have come through it. But even though the doors in this mansion were old-fashioned, the locks were the familiar, average cylinder style that you could find in any normal house. In 1986, you mean, right? My doors don't look. Hey guys, my doors don't look like this. You say average door, my doors don't look like this. The frick, we don't. This round wheel door. Nah, my doors look like, the ones you pull down. I don't. I've used wheel-like doors before, but obviously, that's not a normal house. Get out of here. Nah. In other words, there was no hole going all the way through by construction. So no matter how thin an object it might have been, it's impossible to imagine that it could have penetrated through the keyhole from the outside and attacked her. Cylinder lock. Keyhole? But Kiryu-san had definitely said something like a golden thread had flown in through the keyhole and spun around and around, aiming for her, attacking her. A golden thread attacking through the keyhole. I couldn't understand what it meant at all. A golden thread attacking through the keyhole. That is interesting. That is interesting phrasing from Kiria, you're right. I don't understand it either. Wait, actually, Kiria-san predicted that I probably wouldn't be able to understand all this. She did! She did say that, and she did tell you to just accept what you see and accept that just magical things happen. And not just Kiria-san. Jessica said it over the phone too. No, since the very beginning. From the time we talked with Goro-san and Kurosawa-san and got the phone call from Uncle Cross's group, everyone has been saying the same consistent thing. Grandfather is summoning witches and demons and killing people with magic. We witnessed it happening with our very own eyes. No tricks, no illusions. No choice but to believe it. They all said it, with one voice. And they all agree with it. We were all in on that. Like, yes, that's how it happened. When that mysterious woman calling herself Beato appeared, even I pretty much believed that she was a real witch and might start summoning goat monsters right and left. Right! Because you did start immediately going checking right and left for the goat monsters. I remember you mentioning that when you first walked up to the mansion. So, and then before Beto told you, don't worry, I'm not summoning anyone, there's nobody here, it's just me and you. However, after being left alone for a whole day, once my feeling of tension faded completely, I had a level enough head to think that this was way too stupid to possibly be true. But then what happened, Batter? How do you explain what happened on this island? In that extraordinary situation where their lives were exposed to danger, did they just lose their heads a little and mistakenly think that a witch was attacking them with magic? But multiple people testified to the same effect, and on top of that, none of their opinions contradicted one another. If it had been a single person's statement, I'd be able to suspect that they just didn't see what they thought they saw. But doing that now is pretty difficult. My voice is dead after this, by the way. There's not been a single. I just heard maybe Battler's found another body. There's been not a single voice line other than Jessica's. That was like a single line this entire part. I've been talking a lot. My throat, man. But you guys can literally watch this part as a podcast, by the way. Might as well turn this into a podcast. Just listen to me because there's nothing really that. The visuals haven't been important at all this part. It's just been a lot of reading and talking. So you guys can literally just watch. I hope you guys have been watching this part as a podcast, essentially. Right? You might as well at this point. You might as well. Then, right next to the back door, I found Uncle Cross with his head half destroyed. Right! Because that's how far Uncle Cross made it, right? That's how far Cross made it. So, he found Cross's belly. So, good thing I decided to wait up checking the character files, even after he found Kiria. Because there's still a chance that he keeps going and finds perhaps even Shannon's body, which should be on top of the well. That depends on how far he's willing to go through to the forest to check out the bodies. With his head half destroyed, even he got the head half destroyed treatment. Just like Jessica. But unlike Kiria, so... Even though he'd escaped the dungeon of Kivadorian, and somehow made it out of the secret underground passage and all the way here, he was killed. So yeah, that's another thing, Backer. You know an underground passage exists, and you decide to play a detective. Did you ever try to find the underground passage, and did you actually find it? You should go search for the underground passage. Buried into the gruesome cross-section of his half-destroyed head was a stake. Oh, so okay, never mind. He got the stake treatment too. Was a stake with an occult design, just like the one that was driven into Kiria's forehead. So this is probably why Batter theorized that they were killed by that these stake things were the 4th to 8th Twilights. I think this is it. Because out of Kiria's body alone, I don't think he can justify that. I don't think he can justify that theory without something sus going on. But now that you found Cross's body as well, with the stake here too, it's easy to assume, okay, since there was no stake in George's body, George was not involved in the whole stake, in the whole 4th to 8th Twilight. It was just Kiria, Cross, and 3 other people. Where was it driven though? It doesn't say just yet. In the cross-section of his head, his half-destroyed head, it says. And in this situation, it was very hard to imagine that this stake was the murder weapon. He was killed with a powerful gun like the 6 in the dining hall, and after that, he was struck with a stake like Kiria's son. I wonder if the golden threads that Kiria's son spoke of attacked Uncle Cross too. Does there exist some kind of tool, like an endoscope, which is very thin but can be moved about at will? What's an endoscope? I need to Google endoscope, but I don't have Google with me right now. I should have Google with me at all times. I'm charging my phone though. And I can also attack people? No way. I've never even heard of anything like that. But even so, if I voiced that suspicion to one of my relatives, perhaps they would say, I wouldn't put it past grandfather to make one. I mean, I still haven't heard of something like that, and it's 2022, Battler. It's 2022 right now as I'm recording this. This entire murder spree happened in 1986, and I've never heard of some endoscope thing, whatever you talked about, golden thread going about killing people that you can manually control at will. This is news to me too. I'll put it past grandfather to make one. Since I can't refute the existence of a golden thread X that can be moved at will and attack people, my only options are either to accept this completely incomprehensible weapon, or else to accept that these murders were committed with magic. And you obviously can't do the latter, so you either theorize a different solution, or you accept this incomprehensible weapon. And it's a devil's proof. You can't prove that it can exist, so there you go. To find the next corpse, I had to go out through the back door and search around outside a bit. So you did go out and find a new corpse. You found Shannon's corpse then, right? Or Nanjo. Maybe you found Nanjo, actually. Maybe you found Nanjo. Actually, it's Nanjo. I think it's Nanjo by now. It's Nanjo and then Shannon. I think. Oh no! You did come all the way to the well. You found the well, Backer. You managed to find the well? So you found the underground passage. Go down it. Find the gold bag. You have 10 minutes left before midnight. Oh, okay, this is far before midnight. What am I talking about? But Batter, you could have gone down the well, gone all the way to the hidden mansion, and you could have found the gold, bro. You could have gone and searched for the gold for the dungeon. Why didn't you go down it? Okay, let's keep reading. I'm interested in this now. I did not think Batter was gonna go as far as actually finding this well. Which, by the way, it's covered in rocks that clearly make a path to the well. So you're telling me Cross, in all these decades of living here, never saw these perfect steps that led to this well that would send you to the hidden mansion? Or I guess he just thought it was a random well. He didn't think it was a secret passage. I guess that makes sense. I guess that makes a lot more sense than him just not knowing it existed at all. Behind the mansion, in the wild-grown bushes that were almost swallowed up by the forest, there was something like an old well. And right next to it were the corpses of Dr. Nanjo and Shannon-chan. So you found both of them at the same time. Now, if you check down the well, Battler, you're going to find Kanon's corpse, because I believe Kanon died was still down there. So go down the well, bro. Go down the underground passage, please. I want you to go all the way to Koadorian, Battler. That would be interesting. That angle. That's the soundtrack playing right now, by the way. Both corpses had their heads smashed. And there was a stake lying right next to each of their destroyed heads that they weren't stuck in. Whoa! They weren't stuck in. Interesting, but they both have destroyed heads like the rest. But no stakes stuck in. Just lying next to each other. Did someone remove these stakes after the Twilight was over? That's sus. All the corpses were atrocious, but having to look directly at Shannon-chan's lovely face, half of which was blown off, was very painful. Hey, Nanjo also has a lovely face. Come on, Battler, no disrespect here. We need the doctors in our lives. They're important. No disrespect. Come on now. Then there was the well. So you found Kanon's corpse, inside which I was told was a secret underground passage to the mysterious mansion Koadorian. Go on. By this time, I was beginning to think that Beatrice and her accomplices might have used this underground passage to leave for Koadorian. There were supposedly 10 or more of these guys, and I hadn't seen hide nor hair of any of them. It made a hell of a lot of sense to think that they'd already escaped somewhere else. They had this typhoon to contend with. They couldn't go out to sea. Also, you can see Beato. Beato's resurrected in her human form, which means Beato's still in this island somewhere. As we speak, Battler, Beato's still in this island. You're going to meet Beato. At some point, if you keep searching about, you're going to find Beato, Battler. Same for the forest. There was no way they could traverse such a deep, uncultivated forest on foot. In that case, there was only one place for them to go. The mysterious hidden mansion, Koadorian. The secret underground passage at the bottom of the well. By this time, I had entirely lost my fear of being killed if I happened to come across the enemy. Screwing with me like this? This time I'll march into your mansion! So he did go to the mansion. I'm guessing he found Kanon's body down in the well. He goes to the mansion. You're telling me the Battler, after going to Koadorian, went back and is now chilling in the kitchen of the mansion? Not at the hidden mansion, the main mansion? Why? You tell me he found nothing in the hidden mansion? He didn't find the gold? The hidden gold? Nothing? Did he not do a thorough enough search? Finally some voice acting. My throat's been getting tired of talking this entire time. The old well had a firm cover on it. The cover was an iron grill. The gaps between the bars were probably 20 centimeters square. 20 centimeters square. Oh, okay. You mean squared. I think they mean 20 centimeters squared. Okay. Okay. Interesting. I'm thinking. Okay. You could peer inside, but it really wasn't something a human could pass through. Why can't you take the bars off? I mean, crossing the rest got through the bars by just taking it off and then running out, right? So why are they now stuck in there? Can you not just take them off and go down the well? Are you telling me this is the reason you never actually went to Koadorian? Did you at least find Kanon's body? You could peer inside, so you surely found Kanon's body, right? If I hadn't known better, I wouldn't have thought it to be anything more than a simple cover to protect against falling in. But from what Kiryu-san had told me, I knew that it had been made to prevent intruders from entering the secret underground passage at the bottom. But the cover was fixed in place extremely firmly. What? And no matter how much I pushed or pulled, I couldn't even get close to removing it? That's insane! How? I couldn't find any obvious lock. What? Maybe it was sealed by some mechanism. Is is it like a similar mechanism to the pitfalls? How is the engineer behind all this? How did the rest of them get out? I don't recall there being any specific mechanism when Cross and Kitty and the rest were getting out. How does this work? But no matter how much I investigated it, I couldn't find anything to release it? I mean, I guess that would help explain why Cross never found it for decades. I mean, found that this was a hidden passage then. But now I'm thinking about it, did the culprit, after killing everybody, just seal it up real good, just iron it out, make sure it's stuck in there? So Battler can't pass through? Because I guess they left Battler alive on purpose? Why? Why are they doing any of this? The underground passage in this well is the biggest piece of information I have that Kitty gambled her last moments trying to tell me about. Can you not see Kanon's body at least? Or are you not peering down enough? How long is the ladder going down to Kanon's body though? I wonder. Maybe it's so dark Battler can't see Kanon's body. I'll search for a tool. Okay. I had an idea of where to get one. Because I'd seen various tools in the gardening shed when we locked Gora and Kumasawa-san in there. So the master keys, I guess, master key would work in the gardening shed as well, right? I guess it would work to open up the shutter. The shutter to the gardening shed was locked. You can't unlock it with the master keys? On top of that, the key was with Gora-san, who was inside dead. So you're telling me Gora, the one with the key, is the only one that can open the shutter and the master keys can't? In other words, this gardening storehouse was a locked room. There was no way to open it from the outside. But yet still, both of them were hanging from the ceiling in the gardening storehouse. Interesting. In that case, I would have to break the shutter. Can you do that? I wonder if there's a tool for that somewhere. It kind of felt like I was going in circles. Find a tool to open up a lock, to find a tool to open up another lock, to go down a hidden passage to the hidden mansion. Hilarious. You have your hat stand. That does not work as a tool, but good luck. Your hat stand spear, Battler. Then, while searching for that, I learned that the source of the stench that had been permeating the mansion this whole time was the underground boiler room. Okay, so I guess Kinzo, after being burned in the study, was then sent down to the boiler room. Okay, fair enough. Just like always, he dies in the boiler room. But this is a classic Kinzo location of death. I say that, but he only died like this episode in episode 1. It still feels like a classic. Well, I guess he also got burned in episode 3, so that's why it feels like it feels at home. And also, wasn't his body found in the boiler room in episode 3 anyway, after he died? So, either way, boiler room classic Kinzo death. He's died there 3 out of the 4 episodes, so let's go. Or at least 2. Alright, the boiler room was dimly lit, humid, had a terrible stench, and on top of all that, was incredibly creepy. But there were several large tools there, and I was able to find a fire hatchet and a massive bolt cutter. Oh, there you go. You can use those to open the shed. And grandfather's corpse too. Let's go. Another corpse you can read about later. I'm not reading it right now, obviously, because there's still a chance that he finds Kanon's body. Don't worry, y'all. We're patient. No, strictly speaking, I should probably say that I found the burnt corpse of a person who's probably grandfather. Someone's corpse had been stuffed into the blazing fires of the boiler. However, by coincidence, I was able to notice the number of toes on the corpse. Ah, so you know it's grandfather for sure now. Both feet had 6 toes, then yeah, more than likely it's grandfather Kinzo. So, boiler room death is interesting from Beato because, burned body death, because while you can't set up bodies to be burned, you know Kinzo has 6 toes, and polydactyli is not extremely common among people, especially considering there's only 18 people on this island. Yes, there can be 2 people with polydactyli, but Kinzo's the guy with the known polydactyli, so more than likely it is Kinzo with the 6 toes. Let's go. Yeah, actually, I might have heard that from Dad at some point long ago. Something about grandfather having polydactyli with extra toes. It was apparently an old Ishirama tradition for people with extra fingers or toes to be treated as a good as a good omen, saying they had good fortune or something. And that's why Grandfather was selected to be the next head, or something along those lines. Well, you don't have 6 toes, Battlers. I guess you're not the greatest next head, are you? But I wonder if I can be certain this is grandfather's body just from the number of toes. True, it's a devil's proof. Once again, we've had multiple devil's proofs since you've gone around searching for the bodies, Battler. Multiple devil's proofs. So there you go. You can't confirm anything. After all, grandfather was supposed to be the leader of the group of culprits. I don't have a clue why he'd be dead and stuffed in a place like this. Maybe they betrayed him. A mysterious corpse, burning and belching out a terrible stench amid the flames. It did kind of feel like Beto did betray him, though, in that scene, to be fair. Kind was like, what's wrong, Beto? Are you not happy? How did Beto's test go? And then Beto's like, shut up! Burn! And then she burned him. If it really was grandfather. Hey yo, Battler, can you go back to voice acting? You know what I mean? This is a lot to read for me, man. My throat, man. Can you go back to voice? Can you back to talking out these scenes so that I don't have to read all this? Nah, I'm joking. This makes for a good podcast for y'all though. So there you go. Did that mean that the leader of the group of the culprits wasn't grandfather, but that Beatrice after all? Grandfather was used because he was convenient, and was then thrown away at the end. Unfortunately, it didn't look like I'd be given a chance to hear grandfather's explanation. You know Beato exists though, because you saw Beato, resurrected Battler, so you saw her, you know she's there. Now that I had obtained the tool, I thought about immediately taking on the cover to the well. But I decided to break the shutter to the gardening shed first. Okay, so you decided to go check out the corpses of Goren and Kumasawa properly, which means now we're gonna get a boop boop, so now we can actually read the character file on their corpses. That's good. I had plenty of time to kill anyway. I thought I should check on the condition of Gora-san and Kumasawa-san's corpses. Fair enough. You're playing detective. Let's go. Bang. I hit the shutter with the hatchet, breaking into it. Stuck the bolt cutter into the crack and scissored it around, opening up a hole. Nice. Then I came face to face with Gora-san and Kumasawa-san's corpses once more. There we go, now we can check out their corpses in the character file. Let's go. As a result, I learned some new facts. First, they did not die by being hanged. Their feet were solidly on the floor. Oh. That is a big thing to know. And you know what I told you guys? The blood on Kumasawa's clothes here. I kept saying this. That does not look like blood that comes from someone that has been hanged. So it does seem like they were killed first and then hanged up afterwards. That would make more sense. I can't imagine Goren and Kumasawa would hang themselves either, so I can't imagine they would commit suicide like that. If their feet are solidly on the floor, then obviously you can't hang yourself, right? Because that's how hanging yourself only works with gravity. If your feet are planted on the floor, obviously the gravity doesn't work to hang you, so you're good. And both of their foreheads showed signs that they had been shot with a gun. When I thought about what a normal noose was like, the rope seemed considerably on the long side. On top of that, the length was different on each to match the height of each person. Oh! That's interesting. Let me think about it. Because I'm guessing, yeah, I'm guessing God is taller than Kumasawa. But they wanted to match the height. Right. So that they both... Right. By that you mean so that their feet would land on the floor cleanly. That's why the length of the noose would match that way. In other words, the lengths had been adjusted so that both Gora-san, who was tall, and Kumasawa-san, who was short, had their feet solidly but barely on the ground. Also, while the ropes carried both of their weights as their heads lolled, both of them had some slack below their knees. Some slack? This meant that if they stood upright with these nooses around their necks, there would be some extra length. Right, because you can tell their knees are a little bit, like, slacked, yeah, a little bit bent, yeah. So they could definitely stand in this case. They definitely these nooses will definitely not kill them off. The culprit here has purposely shown to us that at the very least these nooses, them hanging on these nooses, is not the reason they died. So they're trying to tell us a message with these hangings. The culprit. In other words, these ropes were a bit unsuitable to hang someone with. And let's also remember that this is a locked room, because the door, the master key clearly didn't work to open up the shutter. So, it's a locked room. Gora had the key. So, and if he didn't commit suicide, then how could this have happened, right? How could this have happened? How could both of them be dead and hanging like this? That also does not add up. But I mean, a good question would be, where's the key? You know what a really good question would be? Where's the key to the shutter actually? Is it in Gorasan's pocket? Because if it's lying on the floor somewhere, I can imagine the culprit killing them, doing this to them, getting out, locking the door to the shutter, and then throwing it from the little window that Battler and George and the rest were peeking from last time they were here. I can imagine them just throwing the key. And since Battler last time he checked these corpses couldn't really properly tell what was going on inside and only saw their corpses, he couldn't tell whether there was a key inside or not, or where it was. So that's how this locked room could be solved, in human ways at least. In other words, these ropes were a bit unsuitable to hang someone with. The direct cause of death was probably the shot to the head. Shot to the head, and you're to blame. You give shooting a bad name. It was gruesome. Their insides were still dripping out from those deep holes, staining their faces a deep red. Still dripping? Dang, it's been almost a day since they died, so. Then they were hung up by their necks and left on display. That probably makes the most sense. If they were shot with a gun, they would probably have been lying down on the floor. If they were shot with a gun. Right. If that had been the case, you wouldn't have been able to tell they were dead by peeking through the window. True. But it's not like you could tell that they're dead just based on them hanging like this either, can you? From the window. Because you wouldn't know that the nooses would actually show off that they're dead, if that makes sense. Right? Does that make sense? As in, you don't know if they're just playing an act and just standing on the ground, and it looks to you like they're hanged, but they're not actually hanged. The mountain of stuff would have gone in the way, so if they had been lying down, they would have been hidden. To make the deaths of these two known to the rest of us who couldn't get inside, they had to hang them like this so we could tell from the outside. Was this to get back at us for thinking that the two of them would surely be safe if we left the key with them? I wonder where the shutter key... Exactly! That's important! Where's the shutter key? I wonder where the shutter key we gave Goro-san, which should have ensured their safety, is now. Check Goro's pockets. Check the ground. If it's on the floor somewhere, I reckon my theory from earlier makes the most sense. That key... Oh! Was in his trouser pocket. That is sus. Did the culprit from the outside throw the key so that it would perfectly land in his trouser pocket? That is sus. That is either that's a really good throwing aim. What if they missed the first time? Although, there's also another devil's proof here though. You cannot prove that there's only one key to the shutter. That's another thing. Yeah, so we're good. We're good. You cannot prove that there's not another key to the shutter. Which means that, okay, sure, that key was still in his pocket, but the culprit had another key that they found somewhere. We're good. So we're good. Devil's proof. We're good. The devil's proof saves us once again. The guardian shed key had been kindly left there, and even the tag was still attached. The tag as well, okay. In other words, the guardian storehouse was a locked room after all. Well, we have a devil's proof going on, so we're good. And that gave rise to another question, because this hanging was inexplicable. If they didn't commit suicide, then the nooses were set up by the culprit. It might have been possible to shoot them through the window, But I really can't imagine that someone could have tied 2 ropes to the beam from the outside. And on top of that, they would have had to lift up the heavy corpses. There's just no way. In other words, to do all this, they would have had to go inside. Which means they would need a second key, which Devil's Proof saves us. So, if Beato uses the red truth against us when it comes to that, we'll get there when we get there. But the key was in Gorasan's pocket, and the shutter was still locked. In other words, the guardian storehouse was a locked room. Gora-san had said that there was only 1 key for the shutter. God damn it, Gora! God damn it, bro! What? It's still not a red truth, to be fair. And Gora, to be fair, also can't prove that there's not multiple keys. Maybe there's another key that he doesn't know of. So we're still good. You need to use a red truth to prove me wrong. I don't care what Gora's saying. Gora is a newer servant. He's only been here for 2 years. Remember how they didn't know for decades that this hidden passage that goes to Kuadorin existed? How can we trust Gora with knowing that there's only 1 key for the shutter? See that? Boom. Destroyed your logic. So shut up, guys, about Gora would know. Shut up. Nah, I'm still in it. My theory's still in it, so we're good. But is it possible that there was a copy and that the culprit was in possession of it? It's possible, very possible. If we're allowed to theorize that there were actually multiple guarding storehouse keys, and that Gora-san just didn't know about them. Exactly, Gora didn't know about them, exactly. And this isn't even close to a locked room, exactly. But why is it that, despite the fact that almost all the other corpses were shot to death and left almost completely alone, these 2 corpses alone were intentionally hoisted up? I couldn't help but feel something a bit odd about that. Isn't it like you said earlier, so that it would be that the corpse would be very visible to you, so that you'd know that they died? I mean, the culprit has had a tendency for these last 4 episodes to make it very clear to us that, hey, these people dead. These people are dead. Like, the culprit has not been scared to hide the corpses. You know what I mean? They're not scared of showing off the corpses. In fact, multiple times they've led us to where the corpses are. In episode 1 and 2, I remember both in episode 1 and 2, the culprit literally, it's like they wrote in front of our faces, by the way, the corpses are here, go check them out. So clearly the culprit wants us to see the corpses. So this is not something new for this episode specifically. Assuming that the mystery corpse in the boiler was his grandfather, the deaths of 16 people had now been confirmed. You just need to find Kanon. You need to find Kanon, mate. There were 18 people on this island. There's me and 16 corpses. And Kanon. Don't tell me you think Kanon's the culprit. Go down that well, you idiot. Dude, you have the tools now. Break the friggin' thing. Go down the well and check Kanon's corpse. If you check Kanon's corpse, and if Kanon truly is dead, then I must have to suspect the 19th person doing all this. Unless Battle is the culprit, I must have to suspect the 19th person doing this. Or someone sneaked in from the outside and became an 18th person, like Battle theories at the start of this episode. That could be another possibility. Kinzo was already killed before the part started. I doubt it was Kinzo, but maybe someone else was killed before the episode started, and someone snuck in and acted like the 18th person. That's the only other possibility. If you find Kanon's body, which should be in the well, which is where you're gonna go now, right? As you find these corpses, you're gonna go down the well and find Kanon's corpse. Kanon's corpse is the only one I hadn't been able to confirm yet. Don't tell me you think he's the culprit. Come on now. Go back to the well, goddammit. Yes, do your job. Go back here, yes. According to Kiryu-san, he was killed while climbing out of the well and fell down into it. Yep, that's how I remember that happening as well. So with the well closed up like this, it was impossible to check. I tried shining a flashlight through the bars, down into the darkness in the depths of the well. Okay. Did you find his body? But it seemed that the jet black darkness had no intention of showing me its innermost depths with this inadequate light. It looked like I'd have to break the bars after all. Do it then! There's nothing to lose at this point. Using the hatchets and things that dragged off of the boiler room and the garden shed, I tried breaking the cover of the well. Minute Darkness is playing. Interesting soundtrack. Did it work? But the metal bars were extraordinarily sturdy, and breaking them wasn't easy. I hit them with a hatchet over and over until my hands started feeling weird, and eventually gave up on breaking them. No! It was impossible. If they were at least wood, I might have been able to break them. But this metal. Damn, man. Yeah, there's no way you can slice through metal bars like butter with a human strength. I feel like at this point this visual novel is bothering us up. I get it. It's playing with us. It's playing games with us. Remember how Cross and the rest broke out of the dungeon to begin with? He was using Kanon's magic saber sword to cut up the dungeon prison metal bars. You remember what I said? Metal bars. So it's very ironic that now Battler, to try and find Kanon's corpse, the one that broke them out of the metal bars to begin with, can't find Kanon's corpse because he can't slice through the metal bars. Don't you find that a little funny, y'all? The only corpse left to find was the only one that could break through the metal bars. Battler can't break through the metal bars to find him. Alright, visual novel. That's how you're gonna do this to us? Okay. You're gonna have us suspect Kanon? Just like the people did in episode 2? Everyone suspected Kanon in episode 2, I remember that. I remember the whole spider struck situation where Shannon had to take care of fake Kanon using the spider web, which apparently are a weakness to these witches and stuff, whatever that means. I can't even begin to understand that story about how Kanon can cut through the metal bars. That's another thing. If it was Kanon that cut through the metal bars leading up to the well, I don't exactly remember how they went up the well. I just remember Cross just opening it up and going out right away. But maybe it was Kanon. Maybe Kanon cut through the metal bars, right? Like how Kitty and Cross are saying. And then they get out. And then somehow the metal bars are put back in and locked once again. So I don't believe that story anymore. I think it's an illusion. She told me that a light like a red laser beam grew out of his arm, and he used it to slice through the metal bars like a knife through butter. Cutting through metal bars like butter? And what's with the red laser beam? Does that mean he snuck in a burner or something? And used that to burn through the bars? Still, just what kind of laser could cut through metal bars like butter? It sounds exactly like the kinds of laser beams that showed up in those robot anime you loved as a kid. Does stuff like that really exist? Actually exist? And how did Kanon-kun get that laser beam? He got it from the cartoon movies, mate. As much as I want to ask him, he's already been killed. Supposedly. Alright, are we gonna start suspecting Kanon now? Plus, even his corpse is now at the bottom of the well, beyond this cover. If Kanon could manage to slice through those metal bars, I'm sure he could handle this metal cover in a single swing. It kind of feels like the locked room just now, with Goro-san locked inside the guarding storehouse holding the key. Only one person can open the door, but they're locked inside. If only I had that power of Kanon-kun's, I could do something about this cover myself. Just who is Kanon-kun? He can really be an inhuman being capable of using a strange power, right? Even Kiri-san told me to believe in witches, and I've also met an insane woman calling herself one. So you have Kiri telling you to believe in witches, and then you have Jessica telling you not to believe in witches. What are you gonna do, Battler? You have to choose at some point. I mean, you just did not believe in witches, so you go with Jessica's side. I say take Jessica's side as well. But Kiri did tell you to believe in witches, but I don't know about that one. Could Kanon-kun possibly be a human on the witch side? Or else the culprit? What the heck? Am I gonna start treating him like a culprit just because I can't find his corpse? Okay, finally some voice acting. Now it's Beato's turn to talk to me. Beato using the hole from Cross. Let's see what Beato has to say. My voice is getting tired, so thankfully Beato's taking over for us. Who's the one babbling about the suspicious being innocent? Are you gonna use a red truth on me?
わらわが赤にと保証する。
You'll guarantee that Canon wasn't the culprit?
カノンは死亡している。キリエたち5人の中で一番最初に死亡した。
Okay.
つまりは9人目の犠牲者というわけ。
Okay. This is confirmed in red. Alright.
死体がない以上カノン君が死亡していると断言できない。
Since there's no corpse, I can't say for sure that Canon King is dead. So finally some voice acting here. This is good. Beta from the other realm has confirmed that for us, so good to know. Alright.
わらわが赤で囁いたところ、駒であるそなたには届かない。
Well, it reaches the other dimension of me, doesn't it?
だ、そなたに。
But it did reach you, right? Nice fourth wall break. I believe Beto's talking to me specifically. So Beto, okay, I'll theorize. Alright, I'll try my best. Thank you for the tips, for red truths. It reached me. Fourth wall break. Let's go. And this is what I mean, y'all, when I say that this is what I mean when I say that I'm still trying to actively solve Umineko and what's going on here, because these fourth wall breaks, right? Beto's challenging me. She's challenging me. Oh, that reached you, right? So Beto's specifically challenging me to solve this riddle, to solve these murders, right? This is why I don't want to give up on doing it, despite me not being very clever and despite me not being able to solve much, to be honest. I'll still try and see what I can do as I read along. At a glance, this appeared to be a mass murder committed using something strange that could only be thought of as magic. Golden threads that attacked through keyholes. No, we even had testimony that something gold had flown around the dining hall during the first 6 murders. The two might have been the same weapon. And there was the locked room murder of the garden shed, and the laser beam that could cut metal bars. The laser beam. And that wasn't all. There was much more, like the group of goat monsters, the talk of a witch who could create pitfalls just by snapping her fingers, the rabbit-like demons who had fired golden threads. I think there were more, and each and every one of them was ridiculous. I couldn't possibly accept it, and was forced to suspect that there was some kind of trick or mistake. But why in the world had everyone spoken with one voice, saying the same thing without contradictions in their testimony? It's not only the magic. Maria's mysterious death. Jessica somehow knowing that George Annika had been killed. The mysterious burned corpse, which I couldn't confirm actually belonged to my piece of crap grandfather. And more. And more. All stuff I just don't get! Don't worry, Battle Media, I don't really get it either. I'm trying my best, but it's hard. In human ways. Obviously, this is us trying to theorize using humans to do this. I don't know how. I tilted the bottle and but I know it's possible. I know it's possible. I'm convinced that humans could do this, but I don't know how. But I'm convinced that it is possible. I tilted the bottle and gulped it down noisily. Alright, so you're back in the kitchen. You never found Conan's corpse, but you found everyone else's. So I think now we can finally check out the character file, which I think I'll do before I end this part. I don't know how long this tea party is gonna be. Hopefully I'm close to halfway through, if not already halfway through this tea party, or else we're gonna have a long reading session next time, because I'm planning to read the entirety of the tea party next part. I'm not planning to split this tea party into 3. I'm planning to only have it split into 2. So they did say it was 2 hours long, so I don't know. I didn't have a clue what was going on. After dinner last night, we kids were shooed out of the mansion and told to go back to the guest house, and then there was a massacre in the dining hall. Kiryu-san and the rest were dropped through pitfalls and captured. And Jessica and Joe Aniki were called out to a test or whatever and killed. Kiryu-san's group managed to escape the dungeon somehow, but all of them were killed in the end. At the very, very end, even Mario was killed, leaving me all alone. In short, I had done nothing except be locked up in the guest house. During that time, a huge incident had occurred and ended before I knew it. What could I call it except incomprehensible? I don't have a clue anymore.
もう俺はただの食欲マジンなんだぜ。俺だけ生き残らせるつもりかよ。とっとと姿を現して殺しに来いってんだ。もう面倒だからこっちからは探さねえぞ。
I can't be bothered to look for you anymore.
そっちから正体を見せやがるってんだ。
I mean, she showed you earlier. You saw her on top of the mansion.
俺は逃げも隠れもしねえぞ。矢でも鉄砲でも持ってきやがれ。
I won't run or hide, says Batter. Let's go. I haven't had any sleep since yesterday. I'm tired as all get out. You wanna kill me? Be my guest. I decided to return to the guest house and boldly rest on the bed. Oh, okay, so you return to the guest house now. Okay. As I exited the kitchen and passed through the lobby, that portrait of the witch came to view. The big clock did too. At that very moment, it was exactly midnight. Ah, so it's time to die, Battler. At midnight, there's none left alive. Your time of death is now, Battler. The sound of the bell, proclaiming that it was midnight, rang out. As I listened, I looked up at Beatrice's portrait. Exactly 24 hours ago, I met you. What were you trying to say to me? And where did you go? You committed a sin, Battler. Just who in the world are you? Golden Witch, Beatrice. I haven't solved a single one of the riddles surrounding you. Show yourself and fight with me. Then the witch showed herself, like a guest of honor finally appearing. She showed herself on the landing at the top of the big staircase. One second, y'all. One second. Okay, so I'm looking now, and it seems I've been recording for about 2 hours. Seems like. So I'm thinking, is this a good place to end it? I've been recording for 2 hours. I know it's a 2-hour long tea party, and you guys know it takes me longer to read through the visual novel than literally anyone else. I take not literally, but it takes me a long time to read through. So I'm wondering if I stop here, then resume next time where we finish off the tea party, right? What do you guys think? But am I over halfway through the tea party is the question. I don't know. If am I over halfway through the tea party? I think I should read a little more. I'm scared. I don't know how long this tea because I'm scared that next part is going to be 5 hours long, man. I think I'm gonna keep reading, and yeah, I don't want to stop it here. This feels like a good stopping point, but I'm scared that I'm not even halfway through. I know I spent a long time reading. I don't. You know, whenever I stop this part, what I'll do is, what I'll make sure to do is, I'll make sure to have a lot of time next time I record. Like, I have to make sure that I have at least 4 hours to spare to record a video next time, just in case. I was told that this tea part is going to be 2 hours long, and I'm trying to read it now as not as fast as I can, but I mean, obviously I can read faster than I'm currently doing, but I mean, as fast as you know, it would work feasibly for me. And I've been recording for 2 hours already, so I'm hoping I'm at least halfway through now, or close at least. But we'll keep reading, and then we'll find a better stopping point maybe. Let's see. Beato.
ようやく姿を現しやがったな。
Dear soundtrack playing. Alright, so Beato's finally showing herself. Besides, I don't want to leave it here in on this big cliffhanger, so.
丸一日退屈させられてたところだぜ。
そうだ。丸一日を与えた。人間側の権利行使は十分か。
We're able to sufficiently exercise the rights of the human side.
ああ、退屈だったんでな。存分にやらせてもらったぜ。
Alright, Backer. So, it's time for someone to win and someone to lose. This is it, Backer. It's midnight. Time to send out all your blue truths. She's gonna use her red truths. If your blue truths corner her red truths, you win and the game is over. If her red truths corner you, remember, Backer, if her red truths corner you and your blue truths cannot counter the red truths, and you cannot prove that humans could do these murders, then unfortunately, Battler, you'll have to be declared the loser of this, and this game board, or this game, will officially be over. The question marks will be over with that. Battler, I'm telling you right now, I have full confidence in you. I know you've come up with ways to solve this in human ways. I know you've come up with it. I'm so confident you will win. This is the end of the question marks. The end of the tea party. Here we go. You're going to argue back and forth with blue and red truths, but you're going to use your blue truths and you're going to get the W. And I'm going to have a lot of homework to do for next time because there's a lot of there's going to be a lot of red and blue truths rambling about back and forth. So I'm probably going to spend like a freaking hour just writing down all the red and blue truths for next time. But you know what? Send it. Send it. Send the red and blue truths, and I'll you know what? I hope you win, Battler. It's time for you to theorize, and then we'll see what happens in the Human Party in episode 5 when it comes to that point. Alright. She's a really good piece. She brought me back to myself. Here we go. Now it's time to get the W. Now, Beato's already admitted defeat, by the way. Beato already thinks this is checkmate. So she already feels like she can't win this. I feel like Beto already knows she can't win this because she admitted that. So I think Battler has even better chances of winning, considering Beto already admits defeat. But Battler is apparently supposed to kill her, which I don't know if Battler should do that. Battler, you don't have to kill her. You just beat her. Don't kill her. She doesn't deserve death. She just deserves to lose. That's it. That's all I want. And then you can go back to your family, Battler. That's all we need. Ooh! Don't you talk about my little sister, the way you disrespected her, the way you left her alone for so many years. That was all your fault, you piece of crap. Oh, so now you think it's because Battler has this tenacity that he got from Angie. You think that because of this tenacity he's got certain victory? What about your tenacity? Why don't you have tenacity for certain victory, huh? Don't bring up these excuses for when you lose, okay? Like, you lose because you suck, not because I'm better, not because there's no chance for you to win. There's a fair chance for you to win. Use your red truths and corner me. Go on then. Oh, I love it. Don't you speak her name.
そなたにとって必要なものだ。あの死を見な。そなたは本気にならん。エンジェの幸薄き未来を自覚しなければ、そなたに勝利の執念は生まれない。
Okay, sure. Keep making excuses for when you lose.
エンジェの名を口にするなと言っている。
Battler, keep repeating yourself, Battler. Go on, don't speak her name.
つまり、必要な生贄だったというわけ。そうでなくては、そなたにわらわを殺すほどの怒りは生まれない。
An anger great enough within me to kill you. has existed since episode 2. Since that's episode 2. But that anger will not that anger will not come to fruition. As in, I won't actually kill you.
わらわとそなたの拮抗が崩せベルンカステル教これは駒ではない切り札と呼ぶがふさわしい駒はどれほど活躍しようと盤上を離れることはないしかし切り札はどんな力を発揮しようと切れば確実に捨てられる
Hey, Beato, don't you speak her name. Beato, say that one more time. Don't you speak Angie's name. Say that one more time, Beato. Alright. Come on, then. Wait, I'm interested in what she's saying here, too, though. No matter how helpful a piece is, it'll never stray from the board. But a trump card, no matter how powerful it is, how powerful its effect is always discarded after it's used. Right. A trump card is discarded. A piece never leaves.
エンジンそなたにとって実に良き切り札だったの
I was gonna say it, but I'll leave it to Battler. Battler, you know what to say. You know what to say. You know what to say. I know what you're gonna say. Say it.
エンゼの名を口にするんだ
Let's go! Let's go! Don't you speak the name! You freak! Don't you dare! Battler's outburst of rage. Beato finally stopped talking. That's right! Look at Battler's face! That's right! I'm serious mode now!
俺はなこんなところで遊んでる暇はもう一切ねえんだ
This is it. This is last straw. I dare say, even though I know there's 4 more episodes coming, I dare say this is the last game board. Let's friggin' go. Let's get the dub.
引き分けすらエンジを待たせてる俺はなお前を打ち破り家族を連れて家に帰るんだよてめえと魔女ごっこで遊んでる暇は1秒たりともありはしない
ならばどうすればよいか分かっているの
I know.
ああ
Blue truths added to the victory.
お前をぶっ倒す魔女も魔法も幻想も妄想も全て俺がぶっ飛ばす
I've made my theories. Well, this Battler has. I don't have it. Actually, I'll be honest. I don't know what Battler's gonna theorize here.
さあおっ始めようぜ
Alright, let's see. This is gonna be a big learning point for me too, because a lot of these murders, I don't know how you're supposed to theorize. So let's see if Battler can help me out.
もう二度とごまかさせない
Yeah, no more tricky, but no more. Oh my god, no more Beato tricking me. Now for real this time. We gotta win. This is Battler's test. This is Battler's test for real, not the whatever that was last time.
ゲーム再開だぜお前という嘘っぱちを追う魔女のベールを俺が引き裂いてやる
Let's go.
長いわ
You talk too little. What? I was gonna say you talk too little as a comeback. Nah, you're the one that talks too much. Shut up. You cackle too much. Annoying. You're annoying.
素直に一言わらわを殺してやると言えばよい
Nah, no killing. We don't do that here. We're not like you. I'm not like you. I don't kill people. I'm not like you. I'm not like you. I'm not. I'm simply not. I won't kill you.
あ
Oh, okay. Battler will though. Okay. Battler wants it. Okay.
あその言葉をお望みなら言ってやるさ
But you won't actually do it, right, Battler? You won't kill her. Come on now. You don't kill her. Like, I know she's done to your family, but you kill. I know she's done to Angie, but you don't kill her, right? Surely, come on now.
俺が聞いてやるお前の望みで最初で最後のものだ
感謝する
I mean, she wants to die, bro. She was suicidal, bro. Dude, a commenter told me about what Beato said at the end of episode 4 before this tea party, and it just sounded to me like Beato's suicidal, bro. It was just like, I can't seem to love anybody. Just kill me already. Just kill me. She wants to die, bro. Don't give her that. Don't give her the fortune being killed, bro. You know what I mean? Don't give her what she wants. At all times, when it comes to witches, don't give them what they want. Give her the opposite of what she wants. Make her suffer more for what she did to us. That's better.
お前も
Don't say it. Look at how happy she is, bro. Nah, don't make her. I'm against this. You're making her too happy. She's tricking you again. She's tricking you again. I'm against this. You're getting tricked.
殺す
I will kill you.
ならばよし
I'm against that. I'm against that. That was a really cool thing they did there, but I'm against it. I'm against it. I'm against it. I'm against killing her. I'm convinced now. I'm against it. She's tricking me again. She's doing something. Bro, I'm not gonna get tricked by her again. Dude, no, I'm not gonna kill her. I'm not.
始めようぞバトラー
I'll be Battler might, but I won't.
さあ魔女狩りの時間だ
Haha, is that a reference to the fans of the serial killing murder thing? The weird guy that was on it? You know what I mean? The witch hunt?
わらわを追ってみろ追い詰めてみろ殺してみろわらわはそなたに期待している妹の最後がそなたに何を与えたのかそれをわらわに見せてみよ
上等だ
Battler's cry burned the world with a white line. And once one's eyes were opened to that brilliant light, the two of them could be seen in a rose garden. Oh, okay. We're just off to the golden land.
先手はどちらから
Dream and Discharger. Now we're over here in the golden land. Oh, what is this music? Oh, okay, this is hype. Alright. The golden land or whatever. The sky's red instead of purple this time. Last time the sky was purple. Who takes the first move? Here we go. This is it. This is the ending. This is where it all goes down. This tea party marks the end of the question arcs. I mean, there's also a human party after this, but ignore that. This is the end.
俺だ
Me.
潔よ
The rose garden, where beautiful rose petals danced. The color of those rose petals was red. Wait, what? No, gold? I'm seeing gold, baby. Okay. Was that a proof or simply a claim that the two of them facing each other in this beautiful rose garden was the red and only truth? Wait, what? Was that a proof or simply a claim that the two of them were facing each other in this beautiful rose garden was the red and only truth? What is this sentence? I don't understand this sentence. What? The rose petals are red. Was that a proof? Dude, this soundtrack is wild. Was that a proof or simply a claim that the two of them facing each other in this rose garden was the red and only truth? Okay, let's keep reading. I don't think I fully get that. That must be why the roses are red. But I see golden roses. That's contradictory. So I'm not seeing the truth? I see a red sky though, I'll give you that. Red roses, red truth. I mean, I see the line, I see the message there, but okay. The visuals are wrong. Maybe they're not wrong. Maybe they're purposely showing us gold flowers. But in the language of flowers, roses are passion, not truth. The flower for truth is a forget-me-not. Hey, that's a... Actually, Dreamed of Distance came out after this, but this sounds like a Dreamed of Distance reference. And that was actually a drop-me-not, to be fair, but yeah. That flower is blue. Oh, the blue truth. That's your flower, Battler. The red is a forget-me-not. Interesting. Does that mean that Beto doesn't want to be forgotten? Well, I'll forget her. I mean, I won't forget her, but I mean, once I win, forget-me-not. Okay. Oh, never mind. No, that's your flower. Forget me not. So you don't want to be forgotten, Battler, then? Ooh, this soundtrack sounds like a... This sounds like a remix from the Golden Slaughterer soundtrack. The one where when you find the bodies dead. This is the soundtrack that plays, but it sounds like a little remix of it. Okay.
俺の青き真実で全てをうがつ
Subete. Everything.
全て一番最初から
Including episode 1 or just episode 4? If it includes episode 1, this could be a really long discussion.
一番最初のゲームから始める
Oh! Oh! From the very first... I was gonna say, is it... He said from the very beginning, so I was like, wait, episode 4 beginning or episode 1? From the very from episode 1? Batman, you got it like that? Yo, he's not messing about. I can't do that. Finally, we'll get things solved for us. Okay, how are you gonna explain the deaths from episode 1 until now? I'm curious now. I see now this teaper is gonna be like 10 hours. How is this teaper only 2 hours long according to the commenter? This teaper is 10 hours long, surely. How are we gonna do every? Okay, let's keep reading.
了解。そなたのお手並みを拝見しよ
From the very start of episode 1, let's go.
う。来い。
Come, alright.
行くぜ。すでに宣言済みだが、もう一度言う。こいつは前回のゲームの南條先生の殺人だけじゃないぜ。
That was the hardest one. Not just murder is the hardest one to solve out of all of them. That was by far the most difficult one. Like even the murders that happened this time with the golden thread with Kitty and stuff, that's easier to solve than whatever happened with Nanjo last game.
一番最初からあらゆるゲームのあらゆる場面を切り裂ける。
What? You mean that Kinzo was killed already and a 18th person came in? Look at the Okay, so that's the theory that Bato's coming with. If this theory cannot be this theory that Bat is spinning up right now, Kinzo's already dead, and an 18th person came in and acted as the 18th person, this destroys every single thing from episode 1 until now. Everything. Subete. If Beto cannot counter this. So, I'm interested. This is the first one Beto needs to counter. Beto refused to counter this earlier on. Here we go. Here we go.
そこに未知の人物 X が加わることで18人となっている。
Alright, I've already written this down, this red truth, so note to self, you don't have to write this down later, this blue truth, because you've already written it down.
この人物 X の存在の過程によって17人全員にアリバイがあっても犯行は可能になる。
Here we go.
これにより人間の数18人を満たしつつにもかかわらず意見18人全員にアリバイがあっても犯人 X の存在と犯行は可能になる。
Or actually, maybe I do write down the blue truth anyway. Might as well. I mean, can't have too much, right? My notes are already like 5 pages long of just red and blue truths. Might as well. Okay. You can break through all the murders in episode 1 by supposing an unknown person X. And we can break through all of the murders in all episodes by supposing this. I mean, the only thing you need to break through after that is just locked rooms. But even then, and the keys, right? The keys and the locked rooms. Those are going to be issues in episode 2 and 3. Is how you're going to break through those. Which, yeah, I mean, you already kind of done it, did it with episode 3 with the 6 sextuple locked room. But you got to do that with Nandra's murder. Which again, you can't do that with this theory. This theory basically solves almost everything. Like, this theory alone solves everything, as long as it's true. Furthermore, it is even possible to explain the mystery of Kinzo's evaporation from the locked room sealed by the receipt. True. By making the bold assumption that Kinzo wasn't there from the beginning. Yep, that solves that. And we don't have to trust what Eva and them were saying unless Beato says in red that Kinzo's there. I mean, we'll see. Unless Beto countered with this with the red truth, that's still true. Whatever Eva and Natsu saw when they went to see Kinzo in the study, we can just ignore that because Beto didn't counter it. The Witch illusion of episode 1 would be completely smashed. Yep, literally everything in episode 1 is solved. It's that easy. It's that easy. Wow, it's like, imagine I theorized this at the end of episode 1. I would have been done. I would have been like, ah, done. That's my job. Time to start off with episode 2. But nah. I mean, Beto's gonna counter this. Surely. There's no way beating her is this easy. Come on now. Nah, I think there's more. Beto's gonna counter us. Don't worry. This T-part is not 2 hours long for no reason. Come on now. The blue truth was valid. Ooh! The wedge of blue truth that Batter had re-stabbed right through the top of Beto's left foot. Wait, what? Wait, so you are killing her slowly? You're slowly killing her? You're slowly stabbing through her with your blue truths? Bruh! So she is gonna die by the end of this. Why? So, cause yeah, that blue truth alone solves almost every episode. I mean, almost everything from every episode. Not exactly everything. There's still things that can be proved against, even if you use a red truth against this. Was the red blood that proved out from her defense in the red truth? I don't know. Beata shot one of her eyes tight, enduring the unbearable pain from the wedge of blue truth that denied her.
悪くない。だがまだまだわらわは否定されてはおらぬ。殺されてはおらぬ。この程度では足りぬ。続くゲームではそれだけで説明できる謎がある。
True. True. That's what I mean. I mean, it solves almost everything, but still mysteries in episode 2 and 3 and 4 that cannot be solved by just saying that. Yeah, you're right. So that only solves episode 1. So now we got episode 1 out of the way. Unless she denies that. If she somehow denies that, then if not, we got episode 1 out of the way. Episode 1 is just done. Just ignore it. We're done now. It's that easy. So here we go. But episode 1 is still the easiest episode, I say. So episode 3, I guess 4 2 is where things get really tough, don't they? Episode 2 I think is a bit easier. But episode 3 and 4 where things get real tough. So although episode 2 was the one that she said she was going to be unforgiving and she's going to come at me at full force. So I don't know. Mysteries.
第2のゲームの終盤でジョージがゴーダとシャノンを引き連れ夏日の部屋に立てこもり殺される。夏日の部屋を解錠した鍵は室内に閉じ込められ残るすべての解錠可能な鍵はローザの手にあった。
Indeed.
犯人 X が存在しようとも密室構築は不可能なはず。
Here we go. Battler, your turn. What the hell? What's happening there? The blue wedge piercing Beata shook. She was resisting, fighting to push it out. Oh, okay.
いや、俺の青き真実は揺るがない。犯人 X がマスターキーを入手していれば、あれは密室でも何でもないんだ。
See, here's my problem with that. Didn't Beata proclaim in red? Didn't Beata proclaim in red that there were only 5 master keys and that Rose had all of them? Do you theorize? Unless, oh, but they were in her pocket. So just like you theorized that, the key to the chapel was in Maria's bag the entire time. That was the proof. You couldn't confirm that. So if the master keys were in Rose's pocket the entire time, we cannot say for sure that the keys were with Rose the entire time, all 5 of them. Which means that the culprit still could have gotten the key from Rosa, and the blue truth is still valid. Fair enough, Battler. Fair enough. Because we know all 5 are supposed to be with Rosa, and we know there's only 5. So yeah, you're right, Battler. You're right. If that in that case, then yes. Unless you counter it with her red.
いいや、入手は不可能だぞ。マスターキーすべてはローザが管理した。
At what time? All of the messages were under Rosa's control. From the start to the very end? Or what's up? Counter.
だが、ローザおばさんが共犯であったなら何の意味もない。
You could also theorize that.
ローザおばさんは犯人 X に何らかの方法で鍵を渡し、密室殺人を幇助した。
Fair enough.
そしてその後、同様の方法で鍵を回収したんだ。
Easy enough.
甘いぜベアート。こんなのは当時の俺もすでに推理している。
そうであったな。
Second. Oh, it's going. Oh, okay. It's resisting again. It's hurting her again. Here we go. The wedge that had been gradually losing its brilliance and seemed as though it was about to come out regained its strong blue again thanks to Beato's additional blue truth and dug into Beato again, eating into her foot. Beato let out a moan of anguish at the pain of it. まだだ
まだこ えぬ。
Okay.
まだだ。まだだ。
Here we go.
さらに続けて第3のゲームだ。6連結の連鎖密室、ローザおばさんとマリアの殺人、親父たちのホールでの死亡、クラウスおじさんと夏日おばさんの殺人。
Yep. Yep.
その全てはエヴァおばさんを犯人に仮定することで説明可能だ。
Correct. I mean, we know she's kind of the culprit now. I mean, she killed Yutiberi after the third game, so we know she's part of that. So, yes, all of them can be explained through that. We know Hideyoshi wasn't keeping tabs at all times, so there we go.
これは当時すでに論破。
Yep, I remember that you won that argument back then. I remember that. I remember that. So, yeah, she still doesn't counter that. You won the argument. She had to leave. I remember. So, we're good there.
それに対しお前がエヴァを通して出題してきた最後の難題、
That can explain with Kinzo.
南條先生殺し。
Yep.
18人目の未知の人物 X で説明可能。
An 18th unknown person X. That explains the murder of Ranjo. So, the only, even your murder can be explained with the truth matter. Your murder. Eva killed you at the very end, and she was the only survivor. Boom, we're good.
これで第3のゲームまで全て打ち破ったぞ。
I think,
反論はあるか。
yeah. You broke it through the third game and the second game. Wait, did you break through the second game? Yes, you did. You broke it through the first to third games. Now only the fourth game is left, right? Unless she counters. I mean, she could counter this. She could go ahead. I mean, go ahead.
無論
Counter.
この程度答えはせぬ。
Yeah, go on then.
ならばゲストハウスからのジョージの失踪はどう説明するというのか。
Let me think about it. That was the time George went to find Shannon, right? And he flew from the window.
赤き真実を追加しよう。ジョージはゲストハウスの階段を降りてはおらぬ。
George did not go down the stairs of the guest house.
窓から飛び去ったのだ。
He flew out the window. Alright, so ladder, maybe? He used a ladder, got out from the ladder, and took the ladder with him. Or, straight up, he jumped off the window. But wasn't the window locked after he jumped out? Oh, okay, easy enough then. He jumped out the window, or there was another accomplice that helped him get out the window with a ladder, or he jumped off. Then the accomplice locked the window. Boom, done. Easy peasy. In the final stages of the third game, George suddenly vanished from the second floor of the guest house. I remember. Eva, who had been on the first floor, claimed that no one had come downstairs. But if, as the Blue Truth claimed, she had carried Cross and Natsu's corpses outside, there was the probability that George could have secretly gone downstairs during that gap in time and escaped. Fair. And besides, we can't trust Eva's claims that she was keeping complete tabs on that. However, she just confirmed in red that he didn't go downstairs secretly, so it doesn't matter. But by adding on to the red truth, Beata had disproved that. Yeah, she disproved that, so. To go outside without going down the staircase to the first floor, he would have had to leave by the window, so using a ladder. But all the windows were locked on the inside. There was an accomplice. Nanjo was an accomplice. Easy. Jessica's an accomplice. Easy. No issues there. Or, even better, unknown person X was an accomplice. Boom. Shut down. Shut down. Easy peasy.
だからなんだ。
Easy peasy.
お前の言葉通りだぞ。
This is so easy. This is the easiest blue truth of my life.
窓から飛び去ったんだろ。下へ飛び降りても芝生じゃわからないし。あの大雨だ。多少の痕跡なんて消えちまう。
True.
赤き真実を繰り返す。
You will repeat that he flew out the window?
外部へ通ずる窓も扉もすべて内側
Oh
より
my
設置
god.
されていた。
Beato, this is easy. Beato, this is so easy to beat. Come on, even I could beat this.
しかもそれらの施錠はすべて外側からは不可能。
Bro, this is so easy. Can we get to episode 4 already? I'm interested in the episode 4. How is Bata gonna beat episode 4? Because this is easy. This is easy. Come on, get out.
ジョージには施錠する術
Yeah,
はない
okay, get out of here with that. Easy peasy. Come on, Bata. Easy.
青き真実を繰り返す
Come on, man.
当時の俺も言っているぜ
Yeah.
ならばジョージの兄貴が窓より脱出後誰かがそれを施錠すればいい
It's literally so easy. Can we get to episode 4 already? This is easy. This is easy. I'm done. If she's not gonna disprove unknown person X, I'm done with episode 1 to 3. I'll be honest. I'll be honest. She's not gonna disprove unknown person X. This sucks. This is trash. She's not gonna disprove that theory. Alright, let's go. Let's go on to episode 4. This is where I think it gets a bit harder.
何も難しいことはない
Really easy. There we go. You're kind of garbage, Beato. Come on, man.
この程度ではあがけぬかあがけぬか
Beato couldn't remove the blue wedge that was buried into her foot. The fake wedge was burned more and more by the strong glue.
第3のゲームまでの全てにおいて青き真実は未だ揺るがない
Can we go to game 4? Game 4 is where things really... I'm so interested because especially with the motives, the motivation for episode 4 is what drives me the most insane. That no story contradicts. How? How does no story contradict? Alright, let's see what Batra has to say.
ならばお前が魔女であることを証明する唯一のゲームは
Yeah.
今回の第4のゲームだけってことになる
The fourth game. This is where things get interesting here.
わらわが赤き真実にて反撃していない以上そういうことになるこの度のゲームでのみ魔女を証明
Okay.
せねばなるまい
Okay, so she chooses not to counter episodes 1, 2, 3 with the red shoes. As far as I'm aware, that means we've solved them. Let's go. Let's go.
よか
Alright, how are we gonna do this? This is tough though. I can see some. She can make some really tough red shoes this episode. I'm not gonna lie. She can make some tough ones here. I don't know how we're gonna beat those.
存分に来るがよ
Alright.
食堂の6人殺しについて不審な点はない
Yeah, those are fair enough.
18人目の X が
Yeah,
銃を乱射して
yeah, that's
みんなを殺した
The question is the pitfalls that sent to the dungeon. How are you gonna explain that one, Battler? The pitfalls I'm really excited for. How are you gonna explain that one?
落とし穴については実際に落とし穴が本当に隠されていた可能性もあるし
It is a devil's proof, yes, but still.
キリエさんの仮説である瞬時に混沌させる毒矢の発射装置 X の過程でも説明可能
Yeah, fair. I feel like she can knock down that second theory regarding pitfalls with the red shoes, though. I feel like it's fair enough to knock down with the red shoes.
ジョージの兄貴ジェシカそして地下牢から脱出したメンバーの殺害も食堂と同じで銃によるもの
But you can't explain what they were saying. The way they were talking to you. You cannot explain the contradictions, though.
不審な点はない
Okay, let's just keep reading.
だが分かってるぜ
Yeah, she could have.
反撃があるんだろ
Yeah, well, your blue truth so far seems very easy to counterattack.
来いよ
Let's go.
そなたの最大の刃である18人目の X は金蔵がすでに死んでいるとの仮説に立脚している
Right, and your trump card, by the way, that you say is a trump card is something that you use and discard. My trump card was Angie. Your trump card is Kinzo. You're saying that Kinzo's not been alive during the 4th episode?
そう来ることはわらわも分かっているだから金蔵を書斎より出した
Right. So now you're gonna use the red truth that Kinzo was alive this episode? Is that the red? That's gonna make things really tricky. Let's go.
この金蔵を親族会議の全員が迎えたぞ親族会議に居合わせた全員が金蔵の存在を認めた
Okay. I feel like that can be countered with, I don't know, a robot create. You know what I mean? Just like how it was with Nanjo in episode 3. I feel like if we counter with a robot was made to look exactly like Kenzo, or you know what I mean, or or a lookalike also made himself look like Kenzo. I feel that's easy enough to count with the blue truth for now.
そうだな。だがじいさまはずっと視線をさまよって寝込んでいた重病人ってことになってるぜ。やつれてて別人に見えちまってもみんな気にしないかもな。
Even if he was sworn out that he looked like a different person, maybe no one would have paid that any notice. What about that?
俺は後悔す。そのじいさま別人の替え玉だ。
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's what I'm saying. It's easy enough to counter that, I feel like.
親族たちがじいさまと見間違えた別人だ。
Yeah.
ならばわらわは後悔す。
Here we go. This is what I'm. This is where things get more tricky, I feel like. Because these first two blue have been easy. Alright, let's go.
すべての人物は後ろ宮金蔵を見間違わない。
Alright, this is where things get good. Okay.
いかなる変装であったとしても、
Okay.
後ろ宮金蔵を見間違わない。
Okay, this is where things get good. Alright, this is where things get tricky. Alright. They will not mistake Kinzo by sight. And they all acknowledge Kinzo. Define acknowledged. By sight, they could have heard his voice. They could have heard Kinzo's voice, quote unquote, a recorded voice that someone else went in there and did their killing. The 18th mysterious person. The 18th person that had the voice recording, played the voice recording. They all acknowledged him, quote unquote. Then the 18th person went on a wild killing spree. That's my current theory. Because you're saying by sight, you're specifying that it's by sight. Not by, you know, not by audio, not by hearing. So.
ならば後悔す。
Alright, let's see what Batter does. That was my interpretation. Let's see what Batter's gonna say.
お前は第一のゲーム時では5本以上存在することになっていたマスターキーの本数を第5のゲームの設定変更を行っている。
But declaring with the red truth in the second game that the number of master keys was 5, when in the first game the number was more than 5, you changed the premises of the later games. Did you confirm in red in the first game that the number of master keys was more than 5? Can someone... I don't remember her saying that. Let's see, I've written down the red truth for the first game, so let's see what she says about that. Let's see. Umineko notes. Here are my Umineko notes. Episode... Let's see. Episode... Red Truth, episode 2. Oh, there weren't any Red Truths made in episode 1. Then where's the... Okay. Only one key to the chapel exists. It's impossible. It's gonna take me so long to read through all the Red Truths here. The chapel is locked. The 6 entered. Blah blah blah. Blah blah. The only master keys are the ones held by the servants. Only one key each. 5 in total. The only way to lock the door is check the 6 key or the master keys. Blah blah blah. Servant room. It doesn't. I'm reading through my red truths here. Natsu's room. Of all the doors that exist on Rokkenjima, none has a crack through which a key can slip. I have the power to speak the truth in red. Beato's past. In the past, those two, Kinzo and Beato, actually had a conversation like that in this place. A hidden mansion called Rukyodorian does exist in the forest of Rokkenjima. This is the world of 1967, 19 years ago. In 1967, in a hidden mansion on Rokkenjima, Beatrice-sama exists as a human. Present time. There are no more humans. Okay, no device exists which can lock them without a key, such as an auto lock. I'm reading through all my red truths. I don't see any red truths that tell me anything about... None of the 6 people committed suicide. I see no red truth telling me about only more than 6 keys existing. More than 5 keys exist in the first game. I was in the room the whole time. That was the Eva Beato cornering. 6 years ago, no person called Beatrice existed. For me, for Battler. Okay, this all... Okay. No, I've written down no red truths, at least, that there were more than 5 keys. I don't remember this more than 5 keys and changing premises of the later games. I don't remember this, but let's keep reading anyway.
同じことで第4のゲームにおいて金蔵の生死の設定が変更されている可能性がある
When did she make the claim or say the possibility that there were more than 5 master keys in the first game? I don't remember that. But okay.
よって第4のゲームの金蔵の存在をもってそれ以前のゲームでの金蔵の存在を証明することにはならない
That's Battler's counter. There's no contradiction there, okay.
よって食堂での6人殺しはじい様が自ら執行したと仮定しても何の矛盾も生じない
Okay.
ならばこう返そうぜ
Okay.
4つのゲーム開始時の金蔵の静止設定は全て同一である
Okay.
第4のゲームのみ設定が異なることはない
Still easy enough if you use the theory that I made up.
副賞要求各ゲームの開始時に金蔵は生存している
Okay, that's a good one.
復唱拒否答えぬよバトル
Alright.
わらわはそなたに望まれて赤き真実を答えはせぬ
Fair enough.
くそじじいね俺の前に立ちふさがりやがれ我が最愛の魔女ベアトリーチェを守るために体を張ってやがるってのか
The little piece of crap. But again, Bato, you have my theory. I made up this theory. Come on. Use it. I made it for you, bro. I made a good enough theory to counter her. I don't get it why you're not using it. Listen to me, Bato. Listen to the... Even though this visual novel came out 15 years ago, whatever. Listen to the mere 15 years later telling you this theory. Why is Kinzo here? Get his ugly face out of here. Goddamn granddad wavered into vision. Is he trying to be some kind of knight, blocking the way between me and Beato?
バトラーよお前にこのわしが超えられるかな
Of course I am! You suck.
至らせぬ至らせはせぬよ黄金の魔女の高みにはなお前の浅はかな推理など私一人を超えることもできぬわ
Oh, but I will surpass.
死ねい
Look at him flying off. What the hell? He turned to a dragon. Okay, what? What is this? Kinzo's jet black cape spread as though it would swallow the world, becoming the snout of a vast black dragon, which came at me, trying to swallow me in one mouthful. What the hell? As I faced the roaring of the black dragon, I calmed my breathing and closed my eyes slightly.
お前なぞ一息に飲み込んでくれるわ消え去れ未熟者め
Don't worry, Kinzo, I'll win. I'll win this. Don't worry, easy.
黙りな死に損ないの亡霊ね
ほうわしを亡霊呼ばわりしてみせるかあくまでもわしはすでに死んでおるとする仮説を貫くかそれがお前の命取りよ
Yeah, yeah, say what you want.
第4のゲームの第1の番にて闇に飲み込まれて消え去るがよい
The black dragon's vast mouth, its snout, its fangs, threatened to swallow Battler whole! In that instant, Battler suddenly opened his eyes. Let's go!
ありがとうよベアトリーチェ
Red truth counter.
お前の
Blue
大
truth.
好きゲームだ俺の反撃の足がかりとなる
Oh. Nani?
ババよクソじじい
What's his theory now?
こいつでお別れだぜ俺は金蔵死亡説が第4のゲームでも主張できる根拠として以下の仮説を提唱する
His voice, recorded voice, right? That's my theory. I don't know what you think, or what you're thinking of.
かろう。存分に来るがよい。我が末裔よ。
Get out of here, Ghost Kinzo.
行くぜクソじじい。金蔵の名は後ろ宮家当主の称号として引き継がれているという仮説だ。
Big brain. That is big brain. That is actually big brain. Oh my god. You used what Bet did to you. You countered what Bet did to you. You literally countered it. You what a counter. You're she used this wordplay to she used this wordplay to show to make you disappear so that she could abandon the game board, right? Even though you are Kinzo's grandchild. And now you're using the wordplay back to be like, well, Kinzo's name is passed on, so easy peasy.
後ろ宮金蔵はすでに死んでいる。そしてその名を誰かが継承した。全員が承認した。それにより親族から居合わせた全員が金蔵の存在を認めた。
Wow, that was good, you know. And it makes sense because, you know, Kinzo passes on his inheritance. Maybe Kinzo already passed on his inheritance before he died. We know, considering what Nandro was saying, that Kinzo only had a year left to live or whatever. So Kinzo had already died, maybe, and then boom. Boom, boom, boom. That's a good one. That's even better than what I said.
じい様の変装をする必要さえもないのさ。一郎が新しい金蔵を認めたのだから。よって見間違えるわけもない。
And this new Kinzo could have just been the 18th person. Easy peasy.
以上の仮説が否定されない限り、お前が死んでいるという事実は変わらない。
Very good theory, Battler. Better than my hearing theory. Very good. You're countering back with this is Battler at his peak performance, peak form. Battler is incompetent in red, but apparently still good enough to just destroy your theories, yo. Wow.
これでとどめだぜ。クソじじい、お前に副賞要求だ。全人物の中で異なる複数の名前を持つ人物は存在しない。
Good one. Good game, Kinzo. It's time for you to go. Go back to death, Ghost. Go back to being dead, Ghost. Get out of here.
安らかに眠りな。クソじじい。感謝しろよ。お前、やっと死ねたんだぜ。こいつが陰謀だ。食らってくたばりな。後ろ宮金蔵はすでに死亡している。
The detective's already dead. Not a good show.
そうさ。あんたは気の毒だよな。その死体が見つかる場合、いつも丸焼けだ。
For you. His corpse is always burnt. That's true.
それは死後が経過している死体であることを悟られないための工作なのさ。
Very good theory. Very, very good theory. Wow. The burnt corpse thing makes sense now.
そしてその名を誰かが受け継いだ。以上の仮説で、てめえは死亡しているにもかかわらず、金蔵は親族会議に登場することができる。どうだよ、これだ。チェックメイトだ。
Checkmate da! Oh, okay. Well, the dragon's gone for good. Several dozen blue stakes bored into Kinzo's ghost. The terrible destructive power would never permit the ghost to recover. Ah. Yeah, get out of here, Kinzo. I'm gonna sever this bond between you and Beato, and it's done. It's gone. You're gone. Get out of here.
金蔵、今日までありが
Rest in peace, you say?
そなたとの日々は忘れぬ。
Okay. Losers, both of you. That's how I see it. Loser days. Dispersing along with the shadow of the black dragon as golden flower petals scattered. Ushima Kinzo became a gold-colored cyclone and disappeared. Even after death, you fought for the sake of the woman you loved. Your love and madness were, without a doubt, the real thing. So, are we done now? What's next? I mean, there's still some. Not gonna lie, there's still some red truth you can make for episode 4 that will still be really hard to meet to counter. We've only been through the first Twilight after all. There's still a second and other Twilights.
恨むな。死者は眠らせろ。起こすな。次こそは。これでお前も最後だ。
Beato still couldn't pull out the blue wedge that pierced her foot. Beato realized that she was on the verge of death.
お前には随分と付き合ったぜ。お前の遊び相手としての義理は十分果たしたはずだ。だが、そろそろお片付けの時間だぜ。
It's about to have to dub up, huh?
家で寂しがり屋の妹が待ってるんだ。
Facts.
家族揃っておいとまさせてもらうぜ。
ならば殺せ。ならばわらわを殺してみせよ。
You want to die though. I don't want to kill you. I don't want to kill the person that wants to die. You want to die.
逃げも隠れもせぬ。今や避けることもかなわぬわ。
So you admit that I've somehow proved. I still think there's some really good red truths you can make for episode 4, but you've given up early, Beato. I'm not gonna lie. How about, can't you make a red truth regarding that everyone's stories didn't contradict and that they all saw this magical stuff happen in episode 4? Why are you not countering with that? And I feel like there's even more red truth you can honestly make from the past episodes too. I feel like you've really half done this, Beato. You could do better, I think. Let me think. There was a good red truth you can make in episode 2, was it? I don't remember, but if you gave me some time, I could think of better red truths. I think you've done a bad job here. You want to die though.
来い。後ろ宮バトラ
I think you lost because you already given up, not because you don't have everything in your power to win. You can still win. You can still convince me that witches exist. But nah, I think you could do better.
おう、金蔵死亡説による18人目の X により残り全てを貫く。
I don't think it is. I still think there's theories from episode 4 and perhaps even the previous episodes that can make, despite these theories being true.
第4のゲームにおけるジョージの兄貴とジェシカの死も X が犯人で説明できる。
But yes and no. Yes and no.
地下牢から逃げて殺された5人も園芸倉庫の2人も最後のマリアも
Yes and no. Well, yes. Actually, for those, yes. But Jessica and George, because how did Jessica say those things to you on the phone? That can't be explained with culprit X. You know what I mean? That's what I mean. There's still some red truth Beato could bake.
全て18人目の X で説明できる。
Nah.
何もおかしなことはない。以上にて全てのゲームにおける犯人の説明を人間にて完了する。ベアトリーチェ、これでチェックメイトだ。
It shouldn't be though. It shouldn't be. I feel like there's still things Beato could do, but she's giving up early. Ooh, wow, oh wow. Okay, that one spear that stabbed her foot was not enough. You needed a couple others. Yeah, she got real good. A lot of spears going down. She's screaming. I think Beato was disappointing. She could have done so much. She purposely lost. She could have done so much better. I don't care. Several blue stakes were driven into Beatrice, who could not dodge skewering her. Beato grabbed the stakes, trying to pull them out somehow.
食らっちまった。
No, he didn't.
痛えよ。
Guys, she's tricking me. I know what she's doing. I know what she's doing, bro. What am I? How are you gonna forget? It's a classic Beto thing to do. She tricks me. I know what she's gonna do. She's gonna be like, I got you. What about this red juice? And then we're gonna continue the freaking episode 5. I know it. She's gonna trick me again. No. What am I? Let's calm down. We know what she's doing here. We know what she's doing. She's tricking me into believing that I got her, and then as I'm about to proceed, she cackles. I'm waiting for the cackle to come out. I know she's gonna cackle. Like, I was getting that time. Never again am I trusting Berto, bro. I have trust issues with this woman. I don't trust her. I don't care. She's doing another Aesop's fable, bro. Predictable. So predictable. Nah. Get out here with that. She could have done so much better.
死ぬな。
It shouldn't. You could have done so much better. I know because if I was Beato, I know some red shoes that I can come up with that Bato still has encountered. Even despite the Kenzo stuff. I know I can.
こいつを引き抜かなきゃ死んじまう。痛いのは嫌だ。辛いのは嫌だ。
I mean, listen, I don't want to kill you to begin with, but I mean, if you're going to die anyway, I mean, I'm not here to give you a painless death, alright? Frick you. But I don't want to kill you to begin with. That's Batter's thing. I don't know about that one. With both hands, Beato firmly grasps one of the blue stakes. Let's go. Naturally, the power of the blue truth to deny witches burned her hands. Unable even to hide her tears at the pain, Beato howled and tried to pull the stakes out with all her might. She's tricking me. Yeah, sure you will. Sure you will. Alright, how long this play gonna keep going? How long are you gonna try to convince me about all this bullcrap? Cause this is some bad trickery, yo. Like, you could do better than this, Beato, I'm not gonna lie.
ならバトラ
What?
我が魔法の数々をどう説明するのか。一番最初に登場したのは第二のゲームにおいてわらわがマリアのかぼちゃのマシュマロを直してやった時だ。この時ローザはその魔法を確かに目撃している。
Well, you have to say it in red, don't you? Rosa witnessed me or something. Rosa witnessed the marshmallows being fixed in front of her or something like that. This is poor, Beato. You can do better than this. She's tricking me all. Don't worry. I'm not getting tricked again. Don't worry. You guys will be there thinking, yeah, I'm just gonna get tricked again. As if I get tricked again. No way, man. I'm good. Certainly, Rosa had witnessed gold butterflies gather and fix a marshmallow by the miracle of magic.
ローザ一人の目撃では信憑性がないであろう。
You can do better, Beto. I know you can do better, but you're tricking me, so I don't care.
だからわらわはその目撃者を極限まで増やしたのだ。
I told y'all, never again is Beto tricking me, and it's not happening now.
それこそが今回のゲームよ。
That's why I increased the number of witnesses to the uppermost limit, which is what this last game was all about. That's what you did! Yeah, that's what I mean! Why don't you use this last game as a right truth? There's so many truths you can make. You're doing this on purpose. Unless you're doing this on purpose to make me think that you're tricking me again, even though there's something else going on. You're trying to make me think that you're tricking me.
我が眷属たちの召喚、そして魔法による虐殺、それらのすべてを 大勢の人間たちに目撃させた。
And how can you explain the Cross and the others breaking out of the metal bars? How can you explain Kanon's magic sword? Come on now. Beto, see what I mean? Like, just give me some time, and even episode 1, 2, 3, even then, I'm in my head, I'm thinking of theories I can make for episode 1 through 3 for different things that it's not. There's no way. Like, you're giving up too early, Beto. That's why you're tricking me. Because there's no way.
それこそが我が魔法の存在する証明。これをどう説明するのか。後ろ宮バトラー。
ステイルメイト。
Stalemate. I guess so. So Beto does not count. Beto does not count as that. I mean, what?
魔法があるから魔法はある。
Fair. That's true. That's true. Okay, then what about this? What about this? Forget the stalemate bit. What about this? How did the... That's actually true. I was gonna say, how did Cross get out of the dungeon? How did Cross, Kirie, Donjo, Shannon, and Kano get out of the dungeon? I feel like there's so many ways to explain that. There's a devil's proof. There's multiple devil's proofs unlocked in there. The metal bars. I feel like there's more devil's proofs to prove that. Okay, fair. Fair. And magic exists because magic exists. Stalemate thingy. This makes it so that the other red shoes that I'm quote unquote thinking about is just futile. Which I guess, yeah, it's done now then.
そういう論法にはできないってのが俺たちのブラウン管裁判のルールのはずだぜ。
Alright. It's like magic exists because Rosa saw Beato using magic. Like what? What? Bro, what? There needs to be like physical, actual. It can't be something abstract like that. It has to be something actual evidence, right? So yeah.
誰が何魔法を目撃しようとも
Braun Tube's logic.
それは魔法の存在の証明にはならない
That would never be proof of magic existence. This should be in blue. Nah, maybe not. Then, Brigilli really did help me out, you know? She did! She did! Like, Brigilli did help me out, if you think about it. I mean... But then why'd she betray me in the end? Why would she give me that many hints and then betray me at the end, bro? Like, Brigilli, what's up? What's up with that? You freak?
俺はお前が見せてきた全ての魔法の存在するしないの遺憾に関わらずそれは俺の不可侵の権利である
It's true. If Bata didn't have that right, this will be beyond insanity.
違ったか
At those words, the blue stakes let out an even brighter light, repelling my hands away. Alright.
やはり抜けぬか。
Despite all this, I still think she's tricking me. It's not like anything changes. This battle is now, even if I cited each individual piece of magic and demanded an explanation for each, he will be use any means available to him to deny them, all of them. Not just the marshmallow magic that I showed Rosa, but all of my magical miracles. Yeah, because those are just magic exists because magic exists. You gotta show, like the other virtues, like you gotta show locked rooms and stuff. That's how you gotta explain things that magic exists. That's how you gotta theorize that. Nandro's murder being obviously the most difficult one, but still. I can no longer even claim to be a witch without entering into debates about how something like a marshmallow was fixed. That's funny. But you're still tricking me, so... I'm in such an inferior position that I'm forced to fight over trivialities like that. You are
わ
inferior.
らわは無理かもしれぬ。
You've always been inferior. You're tricking me, but no excuses. No, it's impossible for me. Shut up. It's always been possible for you. You just suck.
わかっている。
No, you suck. You're tricking me anyway. You're gonna be like, haha, it's always been possible. Ha, I'm gonna beat you now. I know what you're doing, but you still suck. No excuses. I don't care.
もとより勝ちのなきゲームだったのだ。
Boo, shut up.
なればいつか敗れる日が来るのは当然のこと。
What's the sad music for? Is the sad music for extra effect? To make me believe it even more? The visual novel is really trying at me here, right? Okay, great.
わらわはバトラに敗れるためだけに今日までを戦ってきたというのか。勝てるかもしれないと始めたゲームだった。簡単には勝てなくても無限に繰り返すゲームの中でいつかは奇跡が起こると信じてた。
In a game repeating endlessly, a miracle will eventually occur. Man, excuses, bro.
何しろわらわには絶対に勝つという絶対の意志がある。
Yeah, that's why you lost. Because you lost determination. Not because whatever excuses you have. You lost determination. I'm winning because I'm better. That's all there is to it. Alright? I'm not like you. I'm not down bad, okay? I got a little sister to return to. I don't got time for this. Anyway, get done with this trick and show me what's up.
しかし今やその奇跡は完全に失われた。
No, you just gave up as far as I see it.
そして絶対の意志はバトラに宿り、
Why is it saying me
私
Watashi?
には万一の奇跡も絶対にない。
Why is there Watashi on top of the me there? Is there a reason for that? Isn't Watashi just me in Japanese? Like the female version of saying me? Or something like that? I don't get it. Is there a special meaning behind that? Let me know. I don't know. Watashi, I don't know.
いや、奇跡も絶対もない。
Perhaps I should
正し
say
いのか。
with no miracles or certainty.
勝利はなく引き分けによる終了もない。唯一許された決着、敗北を与えられるまで永遠と抗うだけのゲーム。
That's excuses.
そうさ、私はバトラに殺されるためだけに戦っている。
I looked into Battler's eyes. It was not me inside them. Reflected in those eyes were the figures of the little sister waiting for his return and the family he had to bring back to her. He no longer sees me, even as an individual. Of course he doesn't. From the very beginning, he has been fighting to deny the individual I am.
前回のゲームは面白かったな。
Ha ha ha.
ちょっと騙しただけだったけど、ほんのわずかの間だけでも分かり合えたような感じになって
Yeah, ha 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 ha.
面白かったな。
Ha 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 ha. Yeah, for a bit of time it was like that. No, you were tricking me the entire time. That was not fun. You're tricking me by saying this too. I know this is a trick. Ah, it was so fun how it was a bit of a trick. Ha ha. Shut up.
そうだよ。
This you freaks! I'm never forgetting this. I should have settled right there and then. Yeah, that's another thing. You could have won right there and then, by the way. You could have won right there and then, but for some reason, you wanted to lose. The fact that you didn't win in episode 3 against loser Battler, I'm not gonna lie, Battler was a loser back then. I don't know how he almost believed in magic. That was crazy. Dude, you could have won right there and then. You want to lose at this point. But even then, I bet this is a trick. I bet you're going back to your haha cackling just a second. I don't get it. I'm never forgetting this. I'm never forgetting what you two did here. I don't care. Like, we can be in episode 8. at the very end, we can finish episode 8. I'm never forgetting how my heart felt when, not you, Berto, but Virgilia tricking me in episode 3, bro. I'm never forgetting that. I'm never forgetting this, Berto. That's crazy, bro. Unforgivable. Crazy.
バトラがコロッと騙されたまま永遠に騙し続けてればよかったんだ。
Then why didn't you, idiot? You could have won right there and then, right? Are you tricking me again? Okay. I'm not getting tricked again. I'm not!
ダメなんだよな。
ダメだぜ、全然ダメだ。
あれじゃ本当の勝ちじゃないんだよな。
What? You made him admit that magic exists. You made him sign the paper. It's done. What the hell is? What's your true victory? What are you on about?
これだ。チェックメイトか。ベアトリーチェ。
Runs through with several blue stakes. Beato was still in a standing position, skewered to the ground many times over. Unable even to fall over because of this, and still looking up into the sky, she was soon in place. Her tragic form might have been a fitting end for the cruel witch who had endlessly toyed with 18 people's lives and who had killed constantly for hundreds and thousands of years. For that long? For thousands of years? Okay, is that how long this game board has existed for her? That's crazy. Ugh, whatever. She's gone now, finally, goddammit. I say that, but I know she's not gone. I know she's not gone. I mean, I can feel good about it now if I wanted to. That battle beat Belto, quote unquote. But I know he really didn't. I know she's coming back from this and gonna cackle about. So I don't know why. Like, why am I even trying to make to feel good about this? Come on now. Come on now. Let's be for real here. We already know this visual novel's writing style. We know what's gonna happen. All right. Come on now. Come on now. It's raining, goddammit. Frame rate's gonna go up. Boom boom. Gently, as though someone was mourning for something, rain began to fall. Amid that rain, Beato was exposed to the elements, crucified.
終わりなのか。ベアト。
I'm gonna end this part here. I know, it might seem like we've been going on for 3 hours, ladies and gentlemen. We've been going on for 3 hours. We have to end it at some point, and I think this is it. This is the place where I end it. So I knew it was gonna take me a long time to read this. So hopefully, I think at this point I can be certain that I've read over halfway into the tea party. Next time I'll make sure I have at least 3 hours or something to record, or 4 hours to make sure that I can read the rest of the tea party. If there's only like 10 minutes left, by the way, I'm gonna be so mad. I'm gonna be so mad, but I hope I've made a decent progress here. And then this seems like a good place to end it. Next time we'll see Beato tricking me or whatever she's gonna do. I don't know. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this part of Umineko when they cry. And I'll see you guys next time for some more. Alright, y'all. Well, before I leave, I should say, oh man, episode 4 is about to end. The question marks are about to end. So, yeah, let me know in the comments of this video and the next video and the video after that where we do the Unhuman Party. What sort of things you guys want me to talk about in the discussion video that I'm going to be making once I'm done with these question marks. So yeah, that's another message I want to say. This part of Umineko has been really good, but I don't think it's over. Like Beto's saying, I think Beto's gonna come back cackling, and I think that might be how we start off next part. Beto's gonna come back cackling, so that's my theory for now, I guess. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this at least as much as I enjoyed reading it. And alright, y'all. Peace.